Hey, Podnutzians. Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode 597. This show is brought to you by John, a.k.a. Isle of Tiki. And I'm going to say, yes, he's a Patreon guy, but he's more than that. He sent me at least 3 complete setups, laptops, docking stations, and other hardware to where I was able in the past to go and make inner city families, I'll just say, happy. So I will give a huge shout out to Isle of Tiki. And of course, I'm sorry, Ivor, he sent me a bunch of ThinkPads and they worked marvelously.
Hey, look, I have no problem with Lenovo with Lenovo laptops. Everything else they make is the problem. Let me just get that straight.
Okay.
I actually quite like Lenovo laptops.
Kind of like how Microsoft makes really good mice, but I don't know any other hardware I would buy from them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I'm joined tonight by Ivor and Josh. How is everything going, Josh?
It's going well, Dor. We're finally home after about a month road trip going through Western Canada and down through Washington State. Made it down there through the border without getting arrested and back up, so that's always a bonus. Visiting family and friends and trying to find the best water slides in any of the hotels along the way. So I think that if anyone's looking, Drumheller in Alberta has a pretty sweet dinosaur museum and a fantastic slide at the Ramada. So it's probably about a 9 out of 10 as far as water slides go for hotel pools.
That's good. That's good. By the way, Josh, why did my mom not want me speaking to modern day dinosaurs?
Why?
Because she didn't want me to use any foul language.
Oh.
How's everything going, Ivor?
I gotta go.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Not too bad. My son is growing up. He turned 16 last week. So we had a birthday party for him. We had our first barbecue of springtime. So that worked really well. I made some brined chicken thighs on the barbecue, and they were delicious. And we had lots of meat. It was a vegetarian's nightmare. And he's also my son's also got a job. I managed to find him a job at an apiary, which is a honey production place, and a plant nursery. So he goes there and he pots plants for 6 or 7 hours a day. And I have to go and drive him out there. It's way out in the country, so it takes about nearly an hour to get out there and back again. So that's most of my day gone by the time he's at work.
Right. Well, he has a job. That's the good thing. Hopefully he keeps the job for more than a couple weeks and doesn't do the typical teenager thing. Yeah. And he keeps telling me to do stuff and quit.
No, he's been pretty good, actually. He's none of that nonsense. But the amount of money he wants to spend all his money on useless rubbish, which I keep telling him, have you seen how much it's costing your sister to go to university, and how much it's going to cost her to live one year in the halls at university down in Christchurch? And he is just going off over his head. You can just see dollar signs.
Speaking of worthless rubbish,
doesn't care.
Haven't you seen how much it costs for your daughter or for your sister to go to university?
Exactly.
How old do you have to be to drive?
It's almost 16. Yeah, so that's what the other thing he's got to do is he's got to sit his learner's license so he can get behind a wheel and actually start driving. He's got to do a test before he can actually do any driving at all. I don't know what it's like over there.
Is he your oldest?
But in my day, it was as long as you had a pulse, you could get behind a wheel and just go driving, as long as you weren't too drunk.
I guess your daughter has her license.
She has her learner license. She's sitting her next stage, which is used to be called the practical. I don't know what it's called now, but that's like the driving test where they get an instructor to come and sit in the car with you and test. She's already failed one, but that wasn't her fault according to her. So let's see how we go. I'm sure she'll be fine for the next one.
Yeah, so here they basically give everybody a license to drive as long as there's a adult in the car with you, which is not very. It can be kind of scary.
Yeah, on the learner's license, you have to have an adult who's a fully qualified driver to go with her at all times. So that's me, pretty much. Anytime she wants to go somewhere, I'm the co-pilot
That
riding
is it
shotgun.
scary or what?
Oh yeah, sometimes. No, it's not too bad. The kids have a pretty good self-preservation instinct, but there have been a couple of times where she has just not given way. She doesn't like turning corners sometimes. It's like, we need to turn here, and she just doesn't. She just carries on. Well, why didn't you turn? No, I didn't want to.
Your kids have licenses, Door?
My oldest does, and he's the dirty secret is I know human behavior. So when I set up his driving test, I said, look, his driving test is going to be Friday, last day of the week, and it's going to be the very last appointment of the day. Because that's when, if you're going to get passed, that's when you're going to get passed. Because the guy just wants to go home, get drunk, do whatever. So my son took the test. The test involved one little thing in the park and then go out on the real roads. You're supposed to be out on the real roads for like 20 minutes. 8 minutes after he got on the real roads, he came back in, and the guy said, he just looked at me and said, okay, I passed your kid because I know, and I held up my work badge. He says, oh, you're a government employee too. Okay, so you get it. Your kid was extremely nervous. He was extremely antsy. Anybody else would have failed him. I know it was his nerves. He needs to calm down. You make him calm down, he'll be a perfectly fine driver. So he's been driving now for like 6 months and no issues yet. He still doesn't have a job. He has, and we tried to explain to him, you have to get a job because insurance is hella expensive. So we're doing that now.
Yeah, I can't even, like, I watch Solomon walk and I realize that no cars.
Yeah, it happens quickly though, Josh. That day will come before you know it.
Yeah, you know, my youngest one, he's never going to get a license if I have anything to do with it. Because I know him. That's what I'll say. But, so, I will say in the Android verse, there is Android news. Most of it is not great, is what I'm going to say, except for, of course, the nonstop onslaught of Pixel 8 info being obviously leaked purposely. It seems like a fine device. They are doing a lot more stuff. Basically, every single Android manufacturer, at least in the United States, in Q2, which was April through August, I want to say, dropped in sales compared to previous years, except for Pixel devices. I know now more people than ever who have, now not everyone has Pixel 7s, but now I know more people than ever with Pixel devices that I run into because they're so ungodly obvious to like see from a mile away, because nothing else looks, in my opinion, this dumb. But you know, it is what it is. And I have one, and I say that. So
Where was I thinking you were going to say something positive about that phone?
I mean, it runs fine. The camera stuff is cool, in air quotes. Still, every now and then, I just experience weirdness to where if I do something too quickly, I got to stop, slow down, and start over again, or else it won't work right, kind of thing. So, I am a bit of a beta tester. I'm not going to lie, compared to other devices, which does tempt me to just say, well, what if I root it and what if I put something else on it, like Graphene OS or something? So. Haven't done it yet.
It's probably the first thing I would do if I got a Pixel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wondering how many of those sales are actually people that are purchasing the phone in order to put something else on it. Because it seems to be it's well supported, it is supported by Graphene OS, and then I don't know about the other similar operating systems, but I wonder if people are just buying them and then throwing something else on.
Well, I mean, there is some, I will say, some credibility behind that statement, I do believe, because history speaking, the Pixel devices at least allow you openly to root. Other devices do as well, but not with a consistency, I'll say, of the Google devices. Also, because they have multi-year support versus other phones, where it's like now it's like 5 years. The rumor mill is the Pixel 8. I think it's going to have 8-year support. Also, the rumor mill is that if you get the Google 8 Pixel Pro, if you order it like very soon after launch day or before launch day, you'll also get a Pixel 3 watch with it as well. Which, if I was spending that much on a phone, I would kind of like something like that as well.
Can you put Graphene OS on a watch?
I don't know if it's rootable. I don't know if it's ROMable, but if any watch is, I would expect that watch to be.
Because I would never do something like that with a watch, because I know that Garmin's not doing anything nefarious with my data.
No, of course not. Neither is Huawei or Samsung
or the FBI.
Hey, while we're talking about phones, I've got a question for you guys. As you know, a little while ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I dropped my phone on the ground and smashed the back camera section, and I had to put it in to be repaired through insurance. And I brought it into the shop to get repaired, and the guy behind the counter said, "Oh, what's the PIN code to get access to the phone?" And I said, "Why do you need to know that?" "Oh, we need to test the functionality." I said, "Well, no, you're not getting the PIN number. Have you guys ever?" And they said, "Oh, well, we can't fix it then if you don't give us the PIN number." So I ended up having to do a complete factory reset and hand it to him after a reset, and then it got sent off to be repaired. Have you guys ever had a phone repair done on any of your phones?
No. Anything I've done, anything that needed to be done myself. But I usually buy the biggest case, and I don't buy phones with goofy 360-degree flip cameras.
Yeah, I'll say the only hardware failure I've ever had in a camera in a phone is when the screen shatters. Not
right. I just wondered if it was common practice for repair shops to request the access code for.
I mean, there's no other way for them to
hand it
test
into
the
them for-
camera to verify it's working without accessing the camera. So I almost, the devil's advocate is I almost understand them saying that, but if I was them, I would say, if you're, the first thing I would say is, if you're not comfortable with giving me your PIN code, we can do a hard reset on the phone. You'll lose all your text messages, you'll lose all your this, but I'll be able to access the camera without invading your privacy. And then when you get the phone back, you can set it up as if it is a new phone.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what I had to do. But he was going, "Oh no, well, I think his concern was, we can back up your data, you can back it up now, and if you won't lose your data." I said, "I don't give a shit about the data. I'm worried about you getting access to my personal information. I mean, it's a very intimate device. It's got all of my banking, it's got my email, it's got everything on it.
Photos.
I'm just not photos, and I'm not handing those off to to a complete stranger to do whatever he likes with it. So, word to the wise, get a decent case in the first place. It has got a case on it, but it's pretty flimsy. If you do a factory reset before you hand it in to be repaired, or just buy a new phone instead.
Wow, I mean,
don't get it repaired, because it cost $350 to get it repaired. Just this glass, little glass 1-inch section of glass to be replaced on the front.
Yeah, the only other option that they could give you is and this is only if they really know what the hell they're talking about, is you could set up an earbud, hypothetically, or something Bluetooth, to be a trusted device that when it connects, your phone does not ask for a passcode. If it is the passcode itself you're worried about and not the data on the phone, kind of thing. Because some people, their PIN number is more important than data on the phone. But yeah, I would have definitely insinuated that there's like raunchy pictures with me and whatever on it, just to see the reaction from the guy. Because more than likely he'll be like, "That's normal."
Yeah, he's probably seen a few. But no, I don't have anything like that on my phone. Just a few sheep.
Yeah, I mean,
wearing suspenders.
And to be honest, the only type of repairs I could see doing on a phone is a repair I can do myself. If I can't do it myself, then I'm just going to trash the whole thing and just buy a new one.
Yeah, but you need some special tools for that, don't you?
Really, you just need a good
A repair kit.
spudger, and if you get the iFixit toolkit, I want to say it's like $35, and it comes with a lot of what you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The other like failing thing I'll say happening in the Googleverse is Google canceling the Pixel Pass subscription service, which was supposed to get you a brand new phone every 2 years, and they literally canceled it like 1 year and 11 months into its existence. Which, if that's not like a horrible move to do to your customers, I don't know what it is. I know if I would have subscribed to that and they would have done that, I would have been quite irritated, agitated, upset, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, because that's just very poor classmanship. Now, supposedly, and I haven't heard any latest news, supposedly they were going to revert their decision and say, if you signed up in the first 2 months or something like that, we're going to still give you your phone that you were due. But everybody else, it's canceled.
I've never expected.
This was only available in
Google.
the States, wasn't it?
More than likely, yeah.
So
Sorry,
was
Josh.
this only available? Was this only available in the States? Was it?
I do believe it was only available here in the U.S.
Right. This is me not caring.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the kind of thing that if they would have upheld and if they would have done right, I could see spreading. You know what I mean? Because some people don't want to make deals with their carriers. You know what I mean? I want to be able to say, if T-Mobile's service goes downhill, I can switch to Verizon, or I can switch to AT&T, and I would still have access to this Pixel phone plan. I thought that would be like a really smart thing to do, but in honestly, typical Google fashion, they launched something, in my opinion, without doing enough proper research doing it, and then just deciding to cancel it before it turns too bad for them. Is what I'm going to say.
Down there, are your devices locked to the carrier?
No. Well, some are.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it primarily depends on the manufacturer and where you buy them from.
Because up here a few years back, they changed it to where they all had to be unlocked. So basically, it is saying, okay, you do own the phone.
Unlocked or unlockable?
Unlocked. Every phone that you buy up here is unlocked. So
yeah, we have a thing called number portability. I think you can actually take your phone. You can keep the same number and go to a different provider. We only have 3 providers in this country anyway, and 2 networks. So,
and they're all owned by the same conglomerate.
Yeah, exactly. But they were selling phones that were especially locked to their network. So if you decided not to use their network, you couldn't go on to the competitor's one with the same phone. It had to be using either a Spark or a Vodafone network, depending on. But they were usually really cheap, crappy phones that cost $100 and were very entry level phones.
Right. And I want to say here, it depends. If you buy a phone on a phone plan that you're paying off, at the end of you paying it off, you can ask for it to be unlocked. If you buy a device outright, you can ask for it to be unlocked. If you buy a device not from the manufacturer, not from the carrier, I want to say almost all of them are purchased unlocked. So here it's like weird in the middle.
Cool.
Yeah, so basically it's only locked if you've signed a 2-year contract or whatever the contract is.
Well, agreed to like pay off the phone in payments.
Right.
Almost like you're leasing to own kind of thing. Yeah. I will say the only other phone news that caught my eye, and I will say I do think Ivor, that guy you talked about before who does the the Friday podcast.
Oh yeah, Friday checkout.
The Friday
checkout, I think. Yeah.
I want to say, he was the guy that first showed me this brand. Oh no, this is the wrong one. This is a TCL device. Never mind. Okay, so TCL, I'll say this: big China brand, trying always to make a bigger splash, trying hard to make a bigger splash in an ocean of other phones. Um, they've debuted the first, in air quote, next paper phone, NTX paper phone. And this is the kind of phone I want to somehow be successful. Um, literally, one of them is a e-ink phone. To where supposedly the battery literally could last for a week, if not 2 weeks, aka like the old Nokia phone charges. E-ink has made great strides in colorization and multicolored, not just black and white, or not just gray and darker gray, but actual colors. And they've also been able to do certain tricks with refresh rates to where it actually can do refresh rates. It's not going to do full motion video or YouTube good. So if you're a 15-year-old boy, this phone will not work for you because YouTube will not be smooth. But for a certain class of customer who really only use their phones as a phone or as a communication device, email, chat, kind of thing like that, I think the idea of a next paper e-ink phone actually could be, I'm going to say, plausible. And to some
I love it.
Yeah, to some demographic, damn near desirable to have a phone that will literally last for a week on a single charge.
Yeah, because I mean, the biggest drain for your battery is the screen next to the network connectivity. So if you can do anything to reduce the screen drain, you're onto a winner, I think. And then they'll just get smaller and smaller, and we'll be strapping them onto our wrists.
Do they have to get that much smaller, really?
And you'll
maybe our wrist needs to get bigger.
They'll last 3 weeks before you need to charge them. And then we'll say things to our kids like, "Hey, do you remember when we, in my day, we used to charge our phone every night?"
Twice a day, buddy.
We watched a movie the other day, and someone was playing a cassette tape. And I said very loudly, "That's a cassette tape, kids. That's what we used to listen to music on, and when we were your age." And then every time like someone's using a payphone, "That's a payphone, kids." "That's a CD. That's a typewriter."
We went and visited my aunt and uncle in Tonasket, Washington, which is up in the kind of the northeast corner of the state. And we were out walking, tiny town, and there was a phone booth. It was a drive up phone booth. So it was only so tall, and I didn't see if there's a phone in it, but I thought it was a pretty sweet idea.
Oh yeah, perfect for those drug dealers on the go.
Yeah, in Tonasket.
Yeah.
Drug dealers.
I put a link for. I actually brought some hardware this week. So this is a Umidigi G3 Max. We have a friend who comes and visits for usually about 5 or 6 weeks every summer, and he showed up. He had sent me a message on WhatsApp saying, "I want to get a phone. Can you help me get one when I come out to visit?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And so he shows up and he's like, "I got a new phone." I said, "Oh, okay." And I said, "Where'd you get it?" He said, 7-Eleven. I said, "Okay, let's see it." And I said, "Oh, all right, it looks just like your other one." "Yeah, but it's bigger." "Yeah, but it's just like your other one." And so then he was here and he said, Can you look at it?" He said, "I put WhatsApp on it and now nothing, I can't do anything else." And I said, "Okay." And I went and looked at it. I said, "Yeah, this has 8 gigs of memory or of storage. So you're already full." And so I said, let's find you something else. And so I went on Amazon and just found something that looked like it had decent specs. And this is what came up. And I think it paid $150 for it, Canadian. And he loves it. So, I mean, obviously he's not super technically savvy or anything, but as an entry level, this is the first time he's had a smartphone. Basically, he had another one, but it had probably a 2.5-inch screen or something like that. It's a burner. I mean, we always called it the burner as well. But this
Sorry, what
one,
did you get? I missed what you got him.
It's in
What
the
did you get?
chat there. It's a Umidigi G3
Umidigi,
Max.
right.
And so it has a 50 megapixel camera, and it's got 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. So he sends me a message every once in a while and says, "You know what? I just took some pictures and it's still not full." I think you got a couple years, man. So yeah, I wanted to actually bring some hardware for probably the first time of this show at least since I got my phone. This one's probably nicer than my phone now too. So,
Well, I mean, 128 gigs of storage. That's a fair amount. He should be, fine for a while.
Yeah, Umidigi's tend to have pretty good specs apart from the cameras, and they have good storage. They have good specs, but there are things that they cut corners with. So cameras being the main one, also the processor. So if he's not doing anything seriously with either of those two, he's probably on to a winner. He's got a good phone. Personally, I need a bit more out of my phone than what Umidigi offers on most of their line.
yeah, like a twisty.
I'm actually seriously considering a Xiaomi next.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
No, I was gonna say you need more out of your phone, like a 360-degree tilting camera.
yeah, you've got to have that. Come on.
Is that the one reason that you don't like this phone? It's not the specs.
You should see the 3 selfies I've taken in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. They're fantastic.
Well, they're not on Nostr.
No, I shouldn't. I don't put that stuff on Nostr.
First, I have to edit out this booger that's in my nose.
Yeah. Yeah. There was another like hardware software link that I posted that Ivor was extremely skeptical of, which I can't blame him. But it was Huawei's Harmony OS. Is like it was originally intended to be their version of Android with all the Googleification stuff taken out and it being a Huawei operating system. When it first launched, I'll just say they did less than a stellar job of keeping their promise on what everything was. But now, and I'll say this, Huawei does make, I do believe Huawei is one of the manufacturers that also makes extremely ultra slim laptops. That basically you can get on like Alibaba and stuff, but can't get here just yet. But Huawei is now promising that starting in 2024, they're going to have this Harmony OS on more of a PC-based system. So an Android-based operating system on laptops is what I gather. I'll say I'm always interested in having alternate operating systems on hardware, especially like laptops and stuff. In my experience, sometimes it can work decent, like with the Jide, Remix Ultra tablet I had here that was running Remix OS, which was Android with a customized launcher, so it was much more desktop-like, and it ran, I'll say, fine. Didn't run perfect, didn't run great because some Android apps wanted to be in a window, showing more of a tablet-style interface and not much like a desktop interface. But I think each iteration of Android makes it closer and more possible to be a laptop-like operating system.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing Huawei has is, I think I've mentioned this before, is you could plug your phone into a display and it will, like a Samsung DeX, I'm not sure what it's called, Huawei Screen Share or something, but it becomes a Chromebook, basically. Have you tried that on your Huawei, Josh?
I stopped listening a while ago. Sorry, man. I was going down a rabbit hole on my own there for a minute. The Huawei what?
The Huawei phone, you can plug it into a display, and it will turn into a Chromebook, very much like Samsung DeX.
Oh no, I have not. I have not done that. No, I was thinking about the other part with the Huawei takes away all the de-Googleifies the phone and puts a Huawei OS on it. Oh, great! So it's just different masters, right? Like,
Mhm.
I guess my stuff's
exactly.
not going
Yeah,
to the U.S. government; it's going to Chinese government. All right, cool.
yeah. Which would you prefer at this stage? I'm not sure.
Well, I'll just say, it's all one of these things. Pick your poison, and it doesn't matter. Every interface you interact with as a human being, whether it's a desktop, laptop, a phone, a library computer, your television, your car, you always have to be selective about what information you willingly just throw forward. Um, Regardless of who owns, in air quote, the operating system. I will say Huawei is also already offering their Harmony OS on, I want to say it was the Orange Pi 3B, which is the brand newest of the Orange Pi based mini computers where you can download. Most of the time, it's a Debian based operating system or a Android based operating system on these single board computers that are ARM based, like phones. And now they are offering a supposed Harmony OS for that one as well. So ARM processors could, we all see with the success of the newest Mac Pros kind of thing, or the Mac books, an ARM can be a perfectly usable laptop processor. So maybe if you join it with a correct build of an Android operating system, it might work as well.
What do you think of replaceable batteries being made compulsory in the EU?
Mixed feelings. I'm not a fan of regulation on any level of any kind,
Yeah.
unless it absolutely has to be that way. The good thing about replaceable batteries is they're replaceable. The bad thing about replaceable batteries is you're not going to be able to fit as much battery in the device as you can when it's a perfectly fitting, form-fitting, custom battery thing.
It's also
vendors,
the waterproofing aspect as well. It's not going to be as tight.
Right. Vendors swear that's the reason they went away from replaceable batteries. I don't know who's telling the truth there. I'm interested to see what the result is.
Yeah,
I can tell you who's
I think
telling
there
the
were.
truth. Neither of them, Dor. Neither of them.
I think there are a lot of third-party sort of battery suppliers who are supplying pretty dodgy gear for people to put into their phone, and there were kind of safety concerns about that. But then Samsung went out with the Note 7, and that kind of blew that out of the water.
That's what I was going to say. Is that the same company that Samsung buys batteries from?
Yeah. Came out with a bang.
Yeah, but they bounced back.
Yeah, I'm with Dor too. With the regulation, I mean, does it really need to be there? Right? Like it's just more reach.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But
if
that's the EU, though, really.
thank you, it is EU. I mean, I would understand if consumers, like in the 90th percentile, would say the reason I got rid of my phone was the batteries didn't last as long. If that was the real huge reason why people got rid of their phone, then I can almost understand the government wanting to regulate the ability to put a fresh battery in it. If that's the real reason you're getting rid of your phone. I highly think that's not the reason.
Well, if it's an open market, it'll settle itself out anyway. You know, if you make a better product that you can actually keep for more than 3 or 4 years because you can replace the battery, people are going to buy it. Well, I mean, unless it has an Apple on it, then it doesn't matter. They're going to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry to everybody, the Matt Geek and Swift in the chat talking up Apple, because no, I'm not going to have any of that.
Yeah, and now we also see, now what about the EU saying about USB-C? Because they also said that everything has to, in air quote, use that.
Well, that's dumb too, but everything should use that. So like this, I just got a speaker, an Anchor speaker, a little one, which is pretty sweet. And then you open up the waterproof cover and it's just old school USB. Like what? I don't understand.
Yeah, my headphones are the same. It's like, really? What's wrong with USB-C? If you can put USB B in there, or whatever it was, USB 2, we can put in USB-C, can't we?
Yeah, the micro and the mini. I'm a huge fan of
Micro and mini,
USB-C
that's it.
as well, but I will also paraphrase because I won't remember it correctly what Jerry Hildebrand, which I'm also probably saying his name wrong, on Android Authority podcast said. It doesn't matter what the EU regulates, Apple will find a way to make it their own to where if you buy a generic USB cable and you plug it up to your whatever device, it's not going to have all the same functionality as if you buy an Apple cable. Because the USB-C spec is kind of open, that can allow many different things to happen. There are many unused pins, is I think the exact way it is in the USB standard that you can decide to use how you want to use. So because of that, Apple will always find a way to screw the end user, screw the consumer into you have to buy my cables or else you are less of a man. It's like you become a eunuch when you decide to use other cables. It's like the bubbles in the messages turn the wrong color and all of a sudden, ew, daddy, he's touching me.
That guy's using a third-party cable,
Yeah.
an aftermarket cable. Well, for me, I don't care if it's USB-C. I mean, I like USB-C because of the reasons basically the reason that it's easy to put into the slot there. You don't have to worry about which way it's going.
Right.
But I mean, I will give Apple credit for those magnetic cables or the charging cables. And I don't know how efficient that is or what, but being able to kick it and not worry about busting a pin, like
dude, I needed that on my NES back in '86. So my brother walked by, he didn't tear the whole console off the friggin' the dresser, jerk.
No, we've got a position now where the market is dominated by one player. You've got virtual monopoly going with Apple, and they can do what they want. And the market, the consumer, doesn't realize there are options. Because they're young people and they buy Apple iPhones. You and I, we've been around this rodeo for a while. We've seen different models, different makes, different hardware, different cables, different Bluetooth standards, whatever, and we know there are other options. There's new young people today coming along, don't know the difference, don't know they're alive.
Well, and people always go with the path of less friction. If they and the iPhone is definitely incredibly identifiable in a crowd, almost as identifiable as this bad-looking device, Pixel 6. But it's because it's so identifiable, it's just easy to say, "Oh, I'll have that." So.
Plus, their parents buy them a new one every year, so I don't care.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, Apple is easy as well. Like it's a simple product for, sorry guys in the chat room, simple people.
It's for people that don't want to overthink it.
Well, and that's right. And I was thinking about that today as I was sideloading an SPK or an APK. I wasn't, but I could have. I really could have onto my Android device, and just realizing just how locked down. I mean, everybody knows this, but when you start really thinking about it, and it's whatever they want to put on there, or whatever they let through, and that's it. I mean, it's not only a monoculture, but it's a censorship culture as well.
Right. Yeah, we come to expect that from Apple, though, haven't we? It's like they've always been a walled garden. They've never played nice with anything else.
I'll talk for 10 minutes,
So,
and you say walled garden, which is what I was trying to come up with, but I couldn't. So I had to. Yes, they're a walled.
Somebody had to say it. All right. Suppose we better talk about some apps. You got any more news?
The only other news I have is in the short term. Walmart is launching I want to say it's called Phone P, PhonePe, which is basically going to be a standalone app store to the Google App Store. I mean, look, open ecosystems allow this kind of competition. I don't know if, I mean, look, I'll just put it like this. I don't see people in trailer parks buying phones and spending a lot of money on in-app purchases. So with that said, I don't know if the Walmart's phone PE will be any success at all, except if it just allows the Walmartiers easier access to ordering toilet paper delivery in a rush kind of thing. I don't know.
Isn't this a repeat of the Amazon Fire phone?
I mean, yes, no, kind of. It requires less investment from Walmart because all they got to do is tell manufacturers that when we sell your phones, we'll put your phones up front and we'll absorb like 10% of the cost if you put our app store on your phone by default. I mean,
dumb.
To me, the only thing I can think of it is a piss poor attempt into trying to inject themselves into the modern ecosystem. But hell, for all I know, in 6 months, it'll be really successful and Walmart will be worth even another $1 billion.
Yeah, but Walmart is everywhere in the US, isn't it?
It is like a disease,
So-
yes.
Yeah, it's
so
up here.
you can
It's up
go
here too.
anywhere and buy
Yeah,
a
it's
phone.
like gonorrhea in Baltimore.
Or chlamydia in
Yeah.
Wellington.
It's everywhere. It's literally
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only other like news related topics, except for the fact I will just say, we still have people like the Nothing Phone putting out stuff, and it's like it's literally like sliding down a jelly roll. It's getting no traction whatsoever. I don't know what that company can do in order to get some notoriety, some traction, besides YouTube influencers showing off their stupid backlights. I don't see how it's going to be successful.
The Walmart,
No,
the Walmart App Store. What is it? Just so they can take a cut of all the sales and in-app purchases from their own store, or like what is the actual point to doing that if it's not to just create influence on people or make money?
It is not to make money. In fact, they are going to do in-app commission-free purchases and commission-free app purchases. So Apple takes 30%, Android, depends on your popularity, takes 30%. This Walmart app says it will take nothing. You will get 100% of the transaction.
So what? I still
until you
don't
don't.
quite see. What's that?
Until you don't.
Yeah,
Change their
there-
mind
Yeah,
in
exactly.
about a year. Yeah. And then you have to migrate all your apps to the Android Play Store.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't even think they know. I think they're literally just throwing it against the wall and seeing what's going to stick. And if something does stick, they're just going to ride that wave and try to do something.
Well, it's a clever play because they know that the big problem with the third system is the app compatibility. You've either got to be an iPhone or an Android, and if you're going to come up with a third one, you've got to. It's the same reason Microsoft failed in the phone
Well,
world.
they continuously fail.
BlackBerry.
But is
well,
it a different OS or is it just an app store?
I guarantee you it's just Android and it's going to have both the Play Store and their app on it, but it's going to default more than likely, I'm going to guess, to the Walmart App Store.
But is it called Walmart OS?
It's called Walmart Phone PE.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know. But now let's talk about something completely different.
Please.
And yeah, I know. And I'm going to bring a suite of games that I did not know. All three of them existed. I'm going to say that. And they were on sale this previous week. Another reason to put things on your wish list. It is the Doom and Destiny series. And I have talked about this in the past. I have talked about Doom and Destiny, and I talked about Doom and Destiny Advanced. I didn't know there was a third game, Doom and Destiny Worlds. The only way I can put this is these are games that if you hearken back to the golden age of like Super Nintendo RPGs, We have to go around, get XP, go into multiple battles, level up your characters, and in air quotes, save the world. These are those games, except it is injected with a metric ton of modern day adult humor because you're not a knight, a mage, and a wizard and a thief. You're four nerds who don't have Wi-Fi anymore, and your only reason to doing this is you need to get back to technology and Wi-Fi because this life is killing you. Many hours. I want to say the first one was 9 hours. The second one I want to say they said was like 18 hours, and the third one I want to say they said was upwards of 40 hours worth of content. Each one when they're on sale were less than $5, which I know is a lot for an Android app. But I will say it also is available on other platforms, Android, Steam, and other things. I'm a huge fan of this genre because you don't need to know anything when you pick it up. You just hit buttons, read the text, put it down, forget everything. 3 weeks later, pick it up, hit start. You don't need to remember anything. It's all right there in front of you, and just keep playing forward and keep amassing your beers and your herbal remedies for health kind of thing, and just have fun. And I would say this, the adult humor is quite adult, indeed heavily adult, but still I'll say very, very funny.
So this is different to the RPG. No, sorry, the shoot 'em.
The what? Oh yeah. No
Doom.
first-person shooting going.
This is different to Doom. There's Doom and Destiny,
Right.
not Doom. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Show my
I
age
just
here.
thought this was awesome. I will say I played through the entire first game. It's a question of having time to play through the other games. But bang for the buck ratio, how much you get versus how much you watch it. Easily, this is better payback than paying to go watch a movie, is the way I'll say. Because the movie is only an hour and a half, 2 hours. These are easily multiple hours of content.
Cool. You got any games, Josh? Been playing any
Man,
games
I
recently?
I totally brought a hardware news this time, so back
Ooh.
off, man.
Don't expect
apps.
miracles.
I'm working on it. You got one you can go with? I'll do the next one.
Okay. Well, speaking of gaming, the biggest event in the sports calendar, in the New Zealand sports calendar, indeed the world sports calendar, has just started, and it's the Rugby World Cup 2023. New Zealand champions twice. The first game was the first World Cup was held in New Zealand in 1987, and the World Cup is now currently being played in France, and New Zealand played the first game against France and promptly lost. So it's getting interesting, and to keep abreast of everything that's happening in France on the other side of the world, I have been using the Rugby World Cup 2023 official app. So this is actually a really good app. I'm a bit wary of official apps, but this one's actually quite good. Probably best if I share my screen and you can see what I mean. Just a moment. Jesus, here we go. Right, here it is. So there's the Rugby World Cup app. And we can see at the top here, we've got the different games that are coming up. You can, it's got sort of like stories of the games or when they're on and where they're being played. You get articles. We've got details of the pool matches. There's 4 pools, I think, or 6 pools, and who's playing. All straight from the launch screen. So here are the pools here: Pool D, Pool A, and New Zealand is currently 3rd. So we've got to pull out a couple of wins. France and Italy are top of our pool. We've got to pull out a couple of wins in the next few days to actually get through to the semi-finals. So down here we've got matches. See, Japan just played Samoa. Japan beat Samoa by 6 points. That was a good game. I just watched the highlights on that. It was really good. So you can go through and check out the highlights. You can cast those highlights to your TV. Let's have a look. If you've got a minute, here we go.
That's cool.
So so they've got official highlights, highlight reels. It only take about 3 or 4 minutes. Shows you all the tries that are going on. This one's a real belter. And of course,
What
half
a
the Japanese team are actually Samoan. so it's a winner. It's a winner for both teams.
This is lacrosse, you said?
Ooh,
This is rugby. Jesus.
yeah. Tell them to get stuffed.
And we've got actually got
New
multiple countries playing, as opposed to the rugby to the whatever you guys have over there, that football game that you guys play. And you got match highlights. You've got a whistle watch. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on in the app. You can spend ages. If you're a bit of a rugby fan, it's got also match predictors, fantasy leagues, news, all that sort of stuff. So everything you could want, really.
You didn't go into settings.
No, I didn't go into the settings.
Didn't the All Blacks lose to France? Was that the first game?
Yeah, that's what I said. We lost the first game by quite a lot, actually. It was
To who, though? You lost to France.
France.
Man.
We lost to France. Yeah,
France.
It was the opening match in France. And there was no way we were ever going to win it. The ref was dodgy from the start. So
there it is.
When in doubt, blame the ref.
That's right.
I thought you said you were New Zealand. That sounds like an American trait there. I love the fact that it has actual highlights. Number one. Number two, I'm really happy it's not a single elimination thing to where you guys are still in it, because that would suck. Yeah, and honestly, there's not a lot of sports that I enjoy the highlights from, but I watched I want to say it was a highlight reel from the New Zealand Blacks female team where they literally made something like 12 tackles in like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, they work hard.
Oh,
Women's rugby is really, really coming on. It's
dude,
really
they were like complete beast mode where you could see they would make the tackle and then immediately, without hesitation, go back and reset. And they were like almost like pumping, like waiting for go ahead, pick up the ball, go pick up the ball, go pick up the ball, go pick up the ball to just nail them again, kind of thing. Yeah. And then you see the occasional woman walking off the field, like half her face is covered in blood, and she turns around and gives the other player the finger. That's how sports is supposed to be. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a pretty aggressive game, actually. Yeah. And we don't have helmets and chest pads and that sort of crap. It's great. If you want to watch an exciting sport that's different to baseball or what do you guys call it? American football?
No, it's just football.
Just football, right? Yeah, or soccer. Give rugby a go, and check out the Rugby World Cup.
You know what I like better than rugby? Aussie rules football.
I never understood that game. I could never understand that game. They've tried to get it going here a couple of times, but no, it seems to be really only popular in a certain area of Australia. I mean, it's big in Australia, but a certain one area of it, that's all they play. That's all they look at. I think it's around Melbourne. Yeah, but never understood. It's a weird game. Absolutely weird game.
It is pretty weird, but it's fun because you can actually throw the ball forward. Well, you can kick the ball forward or knock it forward. Blah blah blah. Anyway.
Yeah, and to be honest, that's my only hang up about rugby is I really have no idea of the rules, but I know when something really good's happening.
Yeah,
because somebody's doing something really like literally marching down the field, bowling through people like they're pieces of paper and just destroying everybody.
Well, I like going back on YouTube and watching some of the old matches from the 70s and 80s, and where it was a lot more violent and you're expecting to have fights and stuff. That was part of the game. But now it's kind of locked. That was before it was professional. Now it's all locked down and controlled, and
so now they have pinkies out. They're a little bit more professional.
They got the pinkies out. Yeah.
Well, I see you drinking your drink, Door. You guys got your pinky out when you're sipping whatever it is.
Well, that's because I'm a SpongeBob fan. When in doubt, pinkies out.
Nice.
So what's that link there, Josh?
That is called YoLink. and it's by YoSmart Inc. And it's Smart Home Simplify Your Life. So these are, or this app is an app that just notifies me when the temperature sensor you can set. So start over. We bought a quarter cow and a full pig and threw them into the freezers.
When they cold?
But now there's the issue of it, if the freezer breaks and you don't realize it,
Oh yeah,
what's going to happen to
you'll be
this
a lot
meat?
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So let me tell you, Dor, I got this. It's a temperature and humidity sensor, but it's actually kind of a big brick that has a screen on it and everything. And so if you order now, they'll send you two, which I did, and then you throw one in each freezer, and it uses, what is it, LoRa, in order to connect to a hub, and then you connect that hub to the internet.
Yep.
And so,
LoRa is like Wi-Fi, but less throughput, less bandwidth, less speed, but it's better at like long range, slow,
long range,
constant signaling. Yeah.
exactly. And so people are saying that they are putting these things around a farm and being able to pick it up with the hub. And so basically you can set it to send you an alert, or, you can always monitor the temperature and the humidity of wherever the sensor is, or you can get the app to send you an alert if the temperature goes up. So that's what I'm using it for.
Right.
I just installed this yesterday, and it seems to work. It was showing me the temperature, and I had set the temperature, and then I put it in, and it sent me a notification and an email as the temperature was going down that it was higher than it was supposed to. So I'm taking that as a win.
Right.
And so I set this up on, I have an IoT network, which is just things like this that I don't really want creeping around on my home network.
Right.
And so, yeah, YoLink.
Very cool. Yeah. And I will say, LoRa is the way I pronounce it. LoRa is perfect for things like this, because you don't need to know the split second something happens. You can have a 3 or even 5 minute, hell, even a half an hour delay, and you're still just fine. It is a kind of networking infrastructure where you just need to know something has happened. You don't need to know something happened a split second ago. So for temperature settings in freezers, water settings in like water heaters kind of thing, if it is leaking, LoRa is perfect. And I will say, Maryland is a farming state. Let's just get that out of the way. Yes, there's a city in the middle called Baltimore, but everywhere else there's farms. LoRa is going everywhere out there to where they are, because they want to monitor, how many cows are in this area. How is the temperature dew point over here? All kinds of stuff like that. And I know one of my friends works on a farm doing their diesel engine work, but he also tells me about all of the tech stuff that they have going on. And I know for a fact, like half of it is LoRa sensors, just, how many chickens walk through the door kind of thing in a day kind of thing, just to make sure that they all came back kind of stuff. So this is really cool. And I want to say I never heard of this app, but it looks, like it does exactly what it says it does.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what kind of hardware you got attached to it?
Well,
Can you attach any device to it?
No, it's a YoLink device.
Oh, okay. So you have to buy the YoLink device too.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was buying the YoLink device anyway, so this is one of those the I guess proprietary app, or the company app, but it actually has 3.7 average reviews, which is pretty high for most of the time you get an IoT device or something like that, and the app is absolute garbage. This one I heard on a podcast that somebody was using, so I decided to try it. But and Dora, are all the cows or probably have some sort of radio on them or something like that too?
Yeah, on their ears.
Radio tags.
Yeah, RFID tags.
Can you put those on kids yet, or is that still frowned upon?
I wish. Yeah.
Only if you're a Democrat.
Shots fired.
Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
So, how about the Queen? Oh no! Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, Dora. I think we're back to you, Doom and
Oh,
Destiny.
okay. Well, I'm going to bring another game only because the first iteration of this game I brought, I got multiple like threatening emails. Why did you show me this? I hate you kind of app. The first one was basically just called Retro Bowl. This one is basically a continuation in the series. This one is called Retro Bowl Challenge. This takes the idea of the old Tecmo Bowl style gameplay and brings it to a college atmosphere. But there's a lot more to it. Okay, I'm going to pause the video for the people who are watching, where it gives you almost like Madden style layouts of what's going to happen with this play. So it gives you that level of detail in the same style of Retro Bowl. When you throw the ball to your receiver, you have no control over it. The receiver basically keeps going straight. So it isn't like a full Madden experience, but more through the video, if you watch it, it actually goes through like the entire college career and the college season of the ups and downs, people getting hurt, people getting traded, season dramatics going on kind of thing. There's like the dilemma, like one of the dilemmas that happen in air quote in the season is the faculty have determined that you take action after the Neil Croft was found to have cheated during his recent academic assignment. Do you discipline the player or do you ignore the incident? And things like that keep happening throughout the season. So you have to like tread carefully on what you decide to do. You don't want to make the player too mad. At the same token, you don't want to just let them get away with murder kind of thing. So if you were a fan of the old Tecmo Bowl or Super Tecmo Bowl or Retro Bowl, Retro Bowl College might be the exact thing that sends you into a spiral of calling out of work maybe, or spending a lot of time on the toilet at work kind of thing is what I'll say.
I do that anyway.
Well, at least it's not rugby.
What's wrong with rugby? Come on. Canada likes rugby too. It's not ice hockey.
Oh, I don't know. NHL 95 is one of the best games that's ever coming out or ever came out.
Yeah, some of them classic hockey games are awesome. So yeah,
Can
I
you
thought
even
that was
fight in a hockey game anymore?
I would have to say yes, just because it's like not allowing you to steal a base in baseball. I mean, it's what hockey is. You know.
I know nothing about ice hockey.
You know it's on ice. There you go.
That's about all I know. Maybe I should go and find an Android app an Android game that is all about ice hockey. Might convert me. Okay, I've got another app. This one's called Musia. MUZIA. So it's this is an always-on display app for your music player. So if you're out walking the dog or just listen to your music with your phone in your pocket or listening to a podcast, and you've switched your screen off, this will come up with a front screen on your screen, which will give you options to control your media. This is not a music player; it is a shell on top of your regular music player that is active on a blank screen. So if you turn the screen off, this will work on there. So it displays your album images and media controls, so you can go back and forth. And you can, if you get a message or instant message on your phone, you can You can read it, and apparently you can interact with it, but it's never worked for me with regular text messages. It probably works a lot better for things like WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger, which I don't use. But I can see text messages that I receive. I can see messages that I receive on Signal, but I can't reply to them. But I assume it would be a different story if it was WhatsApp or something else. Also, it shows the album art for the particular artist you're listening to on the screen. And although because I use ViMusic, it doesn't play very well with ViMusic, but it does work very well with Spotify. So I think basically this is designed for the mainstream applications, not the ones that are not free and open source ones. So if you're using Spotify or Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, this is a really good option. Also, it will show you the weather. You can activate the weather, but then you have to give it location permission and that sort of thing. And yeah, I've been using it for a while now, and it's been really handy because I find it quite annoying if I'm out and my phone is in my pocket and I get a message or I want to skip a song or skip a podcast. I have to pull out the phone. I have to activate the screen, and then I can go from there. But now I can just pull out the phone, and it's got it right there in front of me, and I can just press the button once and put it back in. It's not a big deal. Very simple little app. Got a bit of work to do. I think it's still a bit buggy. Like I said, we're working with the lesser known apps, but it seems to be well done. Apart from that,
Will it work with Podcast Addicts?
yes, I use it on Podcast Addict, and it works on that fine.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, I will say there's definitely a use case for this because it gives you a unified interface, whether you're listening to the Audible audiobook player, Spotify, Podcast Addict, or other things. It's nice to have a unified interface for these kinds of things. So I like what they're doing is the way I'll put it. But I don't know if I need it. I don't know. Interesting.
I thought the same, but I started using it. I just tried it out for a week and found out I didn't want to get rid of it. And that's a good sign of a good app, I suppose, is that, you try it for a while, you think you might not need it, but then you actually end up using it quite a lot. So
Gotcha.
It was good.
Does it
Very cool.
Does it pull your battery?
It will show you your batteries.
No, but does it draw any
battery?
battery?
I assume it does. It will, but I haven't noticed. I mean, my phone just drinks battery anyway, so what's one more app?
It takes a lot to turn that thing around.
Exactly. Sometimes I have to charge my phone 3 times in a day. It's incredible.
Wow. So basically, it sounds like you buy a lot of phones, but you just downgrade each time. It's just like
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I spend more money and I get a worse phone every time. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. Might as well buy an Apple.
I would say it could be worse, but I don't know what that would be. You have some more apps, Josh?
Yep. This is Ox Chat or OX Chat. I'm not really sure. I'll call it Ox Chat by Ox Chat Limited. 100+ downloads. This is like a door app here. Wow, just 100+ downloads. So this is a messaging secret chat for private conversations using Nostr protocol.
Ding, ding,
You had
ding. Master.
You had me at secret.
Well, but that's the thing is, so I sent it on our Voxer, and Ivor, in his infinite wisdom, used his private key to log into it. No, I mean, that's the thing about Nostr is that you have to give up that private key in order to log into any sort of apps. So, I mean, eventually one app might just start, I don't know what it could do. I mean, it could send messages that aren't from you. But anyway, that's a nonsensical diatribe. So Ivor logged in with his private key and then sent me a message, and I still haven't done that yet. But I saw the message come up under the private messages on Amethyst, which is interesting because I guess it makes sense if you are you're going to be using the relays, the same relays that any of the apps are using. And so they would pick them up as a private message. So does that make sense? Like, is it, somebody stop me or somebody talk.
No, I mean, because Nostr is a protocol, it would make sense that other things should be able to pick it up. The only way it wouldn't is if this application was doing an extra layer of encryption that only it knew. So it was in combination, both the private keys of its application and the person, to make the messages incredibly secure and private, is what I'll say. So it makes sense that other apps can do it. I will say, looking at the notes in the description of the app, they're definitely on board for the more experienced user at first, is the way I'll put it. Just because it says about this app, NIPS supported, NPO 1, basic protocol flow description, NPO 2, contact list and pet names, NIP 4, so apparently no NIP 3, NIP 4, encryption direct messaging. This is like a change log almost type thing that's meant for, I would say, more developers. So again, this is the kind of application where if you want to make an impression, you download this app, you install this app, you go through the settings menu and you say contact developer and you give them input, and I guarantee you'll get more reaction from an application like this than the normal one, is what I'll say.
That's Nostr in general at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just reach out to the developer on Nostr, and I'm sure that they're eager to hear. But I don't know what the private chat encryption. I don't even know where you were reading that from, for one. I was looking for it, but I can't see any other information on here. Or are you on a different website or something, Door? Not the Google Play Store?
If I see secured chatting app, I take that as like private, secure.
Well, it doesn't actually say secure on here. It says secret. So there is that as well.
There's a difference.
There's a difference, because I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable just using an open Nostr protocol, and because I remember when first got onto it, that's the talk was, don't use this and feel like it's an encrypted chat messaging system.
Right. Well, I mean, now, devil's advocate, truth be told, it doesn't matter what you put on your phone. The phone ecosystem is more, and national standards have it more privatized, in private, behind rules and regulations, than like your car. If you didn't see the recent Mozilla posting, it was something like 8 out of 10 manufacturers polled and investigated capture everything about you, including how much sex you have, where you go, when you go, how you go, and everything. And they give it away basically for free. Where in phones, you at least sometimes have to do like a subpoena, and you have to do like unencrypt data kind of stuff, where with cars, it just gives it all away. So if you're worried about, privacy and security kind of things, get an 86 Camaro or like a 1990 Harley Davidson, because your automobile is giving up 10 times more information than these apps are.
You keep assuming that I have a car that's new enough to have any sort of computer in it.
I'm saying most people do.
Not that fancy. Ivor, he probably gets a car every year.
I have a donkey.
Donkey.
I ride a donkey to work.
You just give your kid the donkey, then let him ride it to work.
Yeah. No, I think my car goes back to 2007. Yeah, it's still got a CD player in it. No, it's got a mini disc player as well. CD player and a mini disc player.
No way.
Yeah, it hasn't even got an auxiliary port on the stereo.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
but-
got some Garth Brooks mini discs if you want me to send them to you.
Oh, yeah. Send them down.
Like wireless tire pressure sensor gauges.
No,
You sure?
wireless type. Oh, yeah.
Because if
I'm
it was
with
an
you.
option in your car, it's in every car. It's just not enabled in the dash because that's another way they track you around.
Okay.
From 2007, though?
Oh yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure that's not there.
I had a 99, I want to say, with tire pressure sensor gauges.
Okay.
Bottom line is there's no such thing as privacy. Move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding more and more.
Nothing to see here.
So do you think
Me
those
too.
tire pressure gauges would alert the authorities if you're trying to smuggle cocaine in the wheels and the tires?
What I'll say is in major cities and on major highways, they not only monitor the unique identifier, which is almost like a MAC address for wireless tire pressure sensors. So they know where you're going, when you've been there. But in inner cities, they also have lots of like we have in here in the state of Maryland, Easy Pass. It's a toll system where you have the device on your windshield. But a lot of people don't know you go into a major city, they sometimes have hundreds, if not thousands, of those same readers in the cities just to keep track of where you're at in the city. So, yeah, if you're really worried about privacy, walk or, carjack somebody else's car and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and then John in the chat was asking if this is better than, say, Signal, and I would say it depends on what you're doing, but no, I mean if you're looking for a secure encrypted end-to-end encrypted app, then I would use something other than this. But as far as something that's cool, I would go with the Nostra Protocol chat app.
All right. Well, I've got another one.
Cool.
This app is called CloudStream. Now, I'm going to preface this with a warning. This is not exactly the most secure app you'll be able to find. This is called CloudStream. And I kind of stumbled on this when my daughter said she was using a website, I think it was called Soap Today, to watch different movies on. Soap Today, SOAP number 2 day. And I thought, what kind of website is that? So I had a look at it, and it was basically any movie you want is on there, and TV series and whatever. But this one, and there are multiple websites like that around the web. These are all hosted in different countries outside of the copyright protections that other sort of Western democracies enjoy. And what this app does is it kind of it acts as a search engine for those types of movie streaming, TV streaming, or TV program websites that offer them for free on the website. So this kind of pulls them all into one app. Again, I would preface this with a warning. I would say you got to be very clear about what you're installing on your phone and where it's drawing information from. And I'm not exactly very comfortable with this app being on my phone, but I've found it's got all sorts of programs and movies and things that I want to watch that I haven't been able to find on a torrent search. So I'm keeping it on there at the moment. The way it works is basically you put in you have to go onto the GitHub repository or onto their Discord server. Actually, you have to go into the Discord site and get a link which gives you a consolidated link of all the different movie site links, and you can feed that into the app, and then it will pull those up as a different server. I'll show you what I mean. Here it is. So this is there's a wee option down here. These are all the different websites that it has access to. So if you want to find a particular movie, let's say, because I was asking door about the deadliest catch. So I'll put that in. You can search these streams for, and it comes up for each one, the search results for those. So I can then go into one of them, and got an option to Chromecast at the top there, which is good for me. And it will show me all the seasons.
Dang.
Yep. And you can either play directly from the app itself, and then Chromecast it. I'm using VLC, or download it to your hard drive, to your hard disk, and transfer it onto a Plex server or whatever. So again, just a bit of warning: be careful about what you're doing with it, and the kind of files that you're downloading. Especially if you're downloading, maybe streaming is a bit safer. But if you're looking for that one particular program that has been evading you on the torrent search, or is not on Door's Plex server, then this might be a good option for you.
Does it have the castle?
Ah,
I think it does, yes. We've got to mention the castle.
yeah. This is
Sorry, there's someone in the chat saying, is this on F-Droid or the Play Store? I tried to find it on F-Droid. I thought I had found it. It is on F-Droid. I did find it on Droidify. That's the store I'm using, which is basically just a front end for F-Droid. So it should be on there. But when I search on the web, on the F-Droid website, it doesn't come up. But if you go into the app, that should work all right. But yeah, it is a bit of a bit tricky to start up with, because you have to go to their Discord server, get the right link, put that into the settings, and then away you go. You got basic access to anything you want.
right. This is kind of like a Kodi plugin, is the way I'll put it.
Yeah.
The reason the Discord server exists is because every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever, the one service that you really relied on will somehow die or change. So you got to go back to the Discord server, get an updated link to update all of the extensions to allow all the other different feeds in there. I can see this is the kind of app that if my wife had access to, she might get fired from her job, is the way I'll put it.
Really?
Because it looked like it had literally everything you could search for would be there. Even stuff that, like my son tried to tell me that there was a cover up where there was some kid reality TV show in the early 2000s that was in the middle of Arizona, where they like starved these kids, and they were like, oh God, I said, dude, there's no cover up. Okay. The show sucked. Nobody wants to watch it. That's why you can't find it anymore. And then of course the wife found it on Amazon. You could stream it for like $5. So there you go. There's the massive cover up. It's hiding in there in plain sight on Amazon. So it wouldn't shock me if that's the kind of service where if you look even that kind of weird one-off show up, you could probably find it.
Yeah. So Swift in the chat saying, what's the Discord server to find it? If you go into the app itself and under the settings, when as part of the setup process, it'll direct you to their Discord server. I forget what it's called.
It looks like it's called LAGRAPPS. Like large apps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, but the link is right there.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got it. But the other thing is, it's a bit hit and miss with some things. Like a couple of documentaries I want to watch, it doesn't have the links to it. It just has it gives you the link to it, but it doesn't have the option to download it or stream it. So that means there's not any supporting website for it that hosts it.
Right.
So it has like a bit of pain sometimes.
So it has like the album art and the description, but not the ability to play it.
But not the ability to play it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be that kind of thing. Wait 8 hours, search again, and it's there.
Yeah, or a week or two, and it might be back to. You know, if you're looking for the late, like when June 2 comes out, it's already advertising June 2 on its on the app, saying this is going to be available, and then it's going to have a whole bunch of cam footage and stuff like that for new releases. But
cam footage sucks.
Yeah,
I hate it.
And this is called Cloud Stream. Is that the
CloudStream, yeah. So I'll put a link to the GitHub site.
Yeah, I got the
on
GitHub,
chat.
but I'm trying to get it on F-Droid, but I can't. It doesn't seem to be on there.
Yeah, well, if you go to Droidify, which is another F-Droid app store.
Trying to get to Droidify as well.
It's definitely on that.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Oh, the other thing is, so what I've done is I've downloaded a couple of files and put them onto my Plex server, and they work fine when you're not using Android TV. If I try to watch those files using Android TV, some files, not all of them, one or two, for some reason they don't play on Android TV. They'll play on a computer, they'll play on a phone, they'll play on another device, but they won't play on Android TV. I don't know why.
Yeah, I have oh man, I have what's it called? The video transcoder application that has like Hawaiian pineapple on it. It's from France.
Oh yeah.
Handbrake.
Yeah,
Handbrake.
yeah, I know that.
I have
Handbrake, yeah.
Handbrake where everything I ever download from anything, I always put through Handbrake with these default settings. And if I don't do that, it's like, yeah, sometimes it works on Android, won't work on desktop, or it will work on this Samsung TV and it won't work over there kind of thing. Weird things. I pump everything through Handbrake. And when I do, unfortunately, the file size is always, 10, 20% bigger, but it always runs everywhere.
Oh, okay, so you just convert it to an MP4 file in Handbrake.
I can't remember the format I do, but I know it's like one of the basic plain and air quote formats in Handbrake, and it always works. Yeah.
No, okay, I'll try that then. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I can come here and click this and output, and then click on movies, and yeah, everything is M4V is what I'm outputting to.
M4V. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it seems to work everywhere. I need it to work is the way I put it. Very cool. Do you have any more apps there, Josh?
Oh yeah. Any guesses as to what they are, or what they're focused on?
Has something to do with your self-sufficient farming.
No, that would actually be
Noster.
interesting.
Bitcoin.
There you go. This one is called Spring, and it's Spring the Noster browser by Noster Band, and it's 100+ downloads as well. And it basically gives you the lowdown as to what's happening on the Noster network. So it has trending notes, trending profiles, and then it has a list of apps that you can use. And it's an app, but it's also a browser is part of it. And I haven't really, it's got Snort integrated into it, which is an app, and there's a bunch of apps on the bottom. So you can go through and kind of just explore the Noster network a little bit more. There's another one that I haven't looked into very much, but seems to be gaining a bit of traction is Vendata. And it's using, I don't know exactly how it's working. It's using AI, but it's a data vending machine where you can say, I want this done and I want to pay this many sats for it. And then I don't know if there's competing AI apps or what it is, but you can have jobs done and then pay in small amounts of Bitcoin in order to.
But like Fiverr.
Yeah, an AI Fiverr, I guess, because you got to make sure you have lots of fiber in your diet. No.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's kind of like, dare I say, to me, the way I would describe this to like the uninitiated, it's almost like a It's almost like a bulletin board of everything going on, the happenings in Noster, including new apps to check out, new updates, information on what's new kind of stuff, and like affiliated services. Huh.
But it's only for Noster. It's not not like a general browser. It's just for stuff that's happening on Noster.
Right. And to be honest, I kind of like this idea because I've never seen in the past where this kind of broad range is the way I'll put it, information is available, but yet it's in this one niche of just this stuff. So yeah, it's like if you need to get your fill of all the information surrounding this new protocol, here you go.
Or if you just want to dip your toe in to the Nostra waters, it's kind of an easy way to have things that are consolidated, so you can just hit a button and then get lost in the world of Nostra.
Right.
And then throw your phone down in disgust and frustration and walk away. And then you have to pay somebody to fix your little goofy
to pay someone to fix it
on there.
$350.
I know it happened, Ivor. I know.
And you can go to the Steak and Shake and get a steak that's not very good and a shake that's not very good.
My next phone's a Walmart phone, Walmart P phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I tried to trade my phone for my buddy's 7-Eleven phone, but. All right,
Gotcha.
Dor, what you got?
I'll throw one more out there, and I'm honestly almost annoyed at the fact that everything I brought today was a game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Somebody has to.
I know. So I'm going to bring another game. This game is called, and look, I know I got a genuine reading disorder, but when the first week I played this game, I read the name wrong, and then when I finally stopped and read it, Enchanted Cave. This makes more sense, but I can't remember what I originally thought it was. Enchanted Cave 2 by Dustin Auxier or something. 4.1 average reviews, 1,000+ downloads, T for teen, $5.99 to buy is the one caveat thing I'll throw out there. And I'll say updated on May 22nd, 2023, different versions of Android. It was eligible for the family library. Permissions, it basically needs nothing except for Google Play license check, which I liked a lot. This is an example of a game that I got because I was in the Google Play Points plan for free, where every now, once a week, I would click a thing and it would give me coins or points that I could use for in-app purchases. But then all of a sudden, it gave me 3 months free to Google Play Pass. So this was an example of a game that I just clicked and said download because it cost me nothing. So with that said, $4.99, put it on the wish list. When it comes down to $1.50, I think it's well worth the trip. The long and the short of it is, you live in a very small town. Every time you go down into the cave, it's a different kind of cave, different layout, different things going on. But the one constant is you're going to die. You're going to die a lot. But every time you go down, you can get points and you can get gold and you can get merch that then does come to the surface and help you in all future endeavors kind of thing. This was way better on a Chromebook, on a big screen, than my phone. On the phone, I literally had a very hard time reading a lot of the text. Granted, I got bad eyes. I know that. But on a Chromebook, this was so much more easy to read and play. Again, this is the perfect example of another kind of game. You need to know nothing. You can just click and play till you die and then turn it off and come back, click and play till you die again. And just keep going down the Enchanted Cave.
This looks really similar to another game you were playing a while ago. That what was it that came out? You spent ages on it.
There's a lot of them like this. The one I'm going to say was probably Legends of Yore.
No, it was a different one.
No.
What was it? It was a similar game that.
There's a couple like this. Yeah.
Yeah. But you made a big deal out of it when it first came out. Stardew Valley, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Stardew Valley is really good. 1.6 is coming out any day.
So you're still playing Stardew Valley?
When time permits, yes.
Yeah.
Only because, again, it's the kind of thing. The beautiful thing about that game is there is no wrong way to play it. There's no such thing as the perfect day. There's no such thing as the perfect play. You boot it up, you can decide I'm never going to go fishing again. I'm just going to go mining and buy beer at the bar.
What do the updates do? Are they expanding
for Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, it's insane. There's a whole bunch of late game content that's been added, whole nother farms, whole nother places to go. New types, new levels of materials you can get, more interactive content with other people you can do. It's literally like from when I first bought it, which was like 1.2 to now 1.6, it's easily double the amount of the content.
Does it still start the same though?
Exactly the same. And to the uninitiated, if you would boot them both up, you might notice a little graphical tweak maybe here or there, but you wouldn't be able to tell the difference until you're like hours into the game. Yeah. Good stuff. Concerned Ape is the developer's name. Single developer doing everything, which is why I'm more than happy to throw him words and money. I bought it on basically every platform I can buy it on. Bought it on the Switch, bought it on PC, bought it on Android, bought it on GOG. I think I bought it someplace else. I don't know.
On GOG?
Good old games, GOG.
Good old games. Probably got it on Steam too, haven't you?
Yes.
My friends think I'm a nerd, but when I hang out with you guys, I feel like Brad Pitt.
Well, Brad Pitt, do you have an app rundown?
There you go. That's your show title for you.
Yeah.
That's the show title.
Well, did you hear that Bing just turned 25?
Jeez.
Brad Pitt's looking for a new search engine browser.
Yeah, I did see that.
You said
okay. So, in no particular order, but I think they're in descending. The Enchanted Cave 2 by Dustin Oxler. Spring, the Noster Browser by Nosterband. Cloud Stream by somebody that doesn't work on F-Droid for me right now. Oxchat by Oxchat Limited. Musia, Music on Display by Next Gen Mobile. Retro Bowl College by New Star Games Limited. YoLink by YoSmart Inc. Rugby World Cup 2023 by World Rugby. Doom and Destiny by Heartbit Interactive SRI. And then we also did quite a bit of talk about different phones. Wow, that was a jam-packed show, boys.
That's what she said last night. Good stuff indeed. I know. When you want to go to the bottom of the barrel as quick as possible, just call me up.
Go to Baltimore.
Go to Be More, hon. Where I will agree with Swift. I think the best thing about Baltimore, the Baltimore area, is the food is outstanding. Like crazy outstanding. Like there's a reason why we die earlier than other states.
Like what?
Doesn't matter if it's fried chicken, because this is actually the home of fried chicken, just saying. Not Kentucky. Maryland is the home of fried chicken. We have better cheesesteaks than Philadelphia. I know that. We got better pizza than I had in Chicago. That pizza was disgusting. And all the seafood you like. If you like seafood, this is the place to go to. I'll say that too.
You also have murders. Let's not forget.
Yeah. I know, but it's what you do with it. You know what I mean? As long as you go in the right part of town at the right time of day, you're perfectly fine. Sure. Yeah. I remember going into a place called Mother Hubbard's that had fantastic cheesesteaks and like home fries, and standing there and watching a young woman pull out a knife and threaten, I'm going to stab, and all I kept thinking was, dang, these home fries are pretty good. I'm gonna still come back for more because
Man, Baltimore's got some good food.
it really does, man. I'm gonna call it right now. Yeah, and then Mother Hubbard's went away, and I was sad, and I shed a tear because yeah, good food.
Did you ever get that dog a damn bone?
No. Her shoe was cramped. It was, it was all government housing, Baltimore.
Good
Okay,
food though.
great food, man. So you have any parting words of wisdom there, Ivor?
No, not really. It's great to see you guys again. Hopefully, we can do this a bit more often, a bit more frequently. Yeah, we've got any apps? Anyone out there who's been watching us? We've got a few people in the chat today, which is really good. We've quite a few more people than we normally get. So great to see them. You guys know of any apps that you'd like us to showcase? Send them in.
Very cool, very cool. Hey, Josh, how can people catch up with any other stuff that you've possibly been doing from time to time?
Well,
I wonder.
Thanks for mentioning it. I do have another podcast called Podcasting for Value, the number 4, and it's just a terrible name that is very hard to find. But yeah, I will hopefully be able to do another one of those. We decided that we were going to homeschool our child for this year, which means that I will have even less time to be doing that. But he was on the last one, so maybe I'll have to incorporate him going forward because he's a heck of a lot cuter than I am.
He'll a lot cuter than any of us.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, so I guess you could check that out. And thanks everybody for listening. And I had something else to say, but I'm an idiot and I can't remember it. So take it away, Door.
I'll just throw out there, this is becoming into the fourth quarter of the year is what I'll say. There's a time of year, don't forget, at least once a week, contact somebody you haven't talked to in a while and just ask them how they're doing. Say, hey, what's up? This is the time of year where people need to hear from people, especially the people they haven't heard from in a while, just to remind them everyone still matters. 2, don't forget, the easiest way to support anything around you is to communicate with them. Show them you're alive. Let them know that they're alive as well. And just say, hey, good podcast. Hey, bad podcast, whatever. And just let people know what's going on. Any and all emails, aaa@pods.com. It might take me some time to reply, but we're busy. You're busy. Everyone's busy. So we do what we can to stay connected. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We had a lot of people come out this evening. Everybody from Swift, J&J, the Mac Geek, Red, and more. Again, thank you all you guys for coming out. We are now doing our announcements to the show on Discord basically only, and it's because our Hootsuite subscription ran out. So I'm not manually doing anything on Twitter or X or whatever the hell you want to call it. Why would you call it X? It's still twitter.com. You don't go to dig.com and say, hey, I'm on peruviansite.com. No, it's dig.com. So I digress. Stupid people do stupid things. Welcome to America. Hope to talk to everyone again real soon. Take it easy, guys.
Good food
Cheerio.
in Baltimore.
Me too. I look like Brad Pitt.
I look like Brad Pitt. When I'm with you two, I look like Brad Pitt. Perfect name for a show.
I mean, it's
Because
pretty true.
because that would just be it. When I'm with you two, I look like Brad. So the people are thinking, wait, which one said that? And they have to listen to know.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not right.
Oh, my neck. Oh man, I'm really happy this isn't smell-o-vision, by the way, guys. Because I have
a bit there, eh?
no, because I have so much Tiger Balm on me. I'm pretty sure your guys' eyes will water.
We had a lot of apps that time.
We did. Do you guys know what Tiger Balm is?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Big time.
I find Tiger Bomb Ultra, which is in a container like this big, and it's like the infusion of Bengay, radiation, and like toxic waste, like all thrown into one container. It's like so vicious.
What color is it?
It's white and it's unbelievably soft. Where typically Tiger Bomb is not soft. It's like quite waxy and quite thick. But the Tiger Bomb Ultra, phew, man, like butter. Not margarine, butter.
Butter.
Oh.
Yeah, I recommend that CloudStream app if you guys are looking for any weird shit.
Well, I'm still trying to find it. So
I just know if I give it to my wife,
I'll send it to you.
I won't hear from her for a while.
Yeah.
yeah, what doesn't sound like that, Red?
Wait a minute.
China virus, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm back.
There's that. It's got to go use his tiny Irish bladder.
I just put it on the Voxer. I just put a link to Classroom on the Voxer chat.
Okay. Thank you. I'm a Luddite when it comes to these type of things.
Well, I make you look like Brad Pitt.
Kids say the darndest things.
So you're going to homeschool?
Yeah.
My daughter wants me to homeschool her.
Yeah. You gonna do it?
She's 12. It would be a disaster. No.
Just because you don't know the material.
Well, yeah, that's a big consideration as well. I have no idea what I'm trying to talk about. I look back at my education. I think, Jesus, that was abysmal. It was totally abysmal. It was so bad. I mean, I know nothing about maths. I know nothing about science.
World geography,
nothing about anything. Yeah, and geography wasn't too bad. I actually had a pretty decent geography teacher, but yeah, none of that. When I had university, when I went back to university when I was an older student, I realized how crappy my education was at secondary school in this country. It's just really bad. And there's no way I could teach my kids anything once they hit about 13 or 14. It's like, nah, after that,
done.
You're on your own, son.
Yeah, well, he's 5, so hopefully we'll be able to handle it.
Yeah,
hopefully.
You should be able to handle a 5-year-old. I mean, a lot of places believe you shouldn't. I mean, in Sweden, they don't start schooling kids until they're 7. So before that, they send them to a play centre that's outside. They don't have any inside facilities. It's all outside. And those kids just play outside all day.
I mean, we could go into the history of public schooling in the United States and kind of transferred around the world, I think. But
yeah, it'd be the same story here.
A racket.
Well, you can play outside, but do they have disc golf?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, is it really playing outside if they don't?
Well, exactly. Yeah. You into disc golf, are you? Door?
Honestly, yeah, I should be. When I was a kid, the only things I ever won, I don't know if you guys had like field day at school.
Yep.
But the frisbee toss, basically every year I won. I could zip that
cool.
thing, basically in the elementary school, I would zip it and it would literally hit the fence on the property line where everybody else wouldn't even come close. Yeah.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
Now you can't even lift your arm above your head.
Well, thankfully it's the other arm.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there is 2 places within 10 miles of me that do disc golf. I know now you need the right disc, or else you're gonna look like an idiot out there. So I don't have the right disc. And the one closest one there is just that. The next closest one you can rent the disc to play, and I just haven't been there. Mainly because the sun causes cancer, so I kind of stay indoors.
And you're Irish.
Yeah, I'm Irish, and my dad's not Irish. He's Scottish, and he's had over 30 surgeries now for skin cancer.
Wow.
Because he won't stop going outside fishing and shit. I'm like, dude, sunblock, it's not hard.
An asshole. I'm going outside. Oh my God.
I was explaining to him, dude, sunblock, it's not hard. Put it on like every 3 hours.
No, in my day, you were gay if you put that on.
That sounds like my dad.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I saw a great interview with Seinfeld about that episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I saw the same one.
Oh, my God, it was so funny. Oh, yeah, there was the time he was literally the funniest guy on TV. And it was hard to get close to as funny as he was.
I liked George Costanza's dad. He was the funniest.
Frank. Yeah. Well, I love
Frank Costanza. Yeah.
One of the best episodes was when George admitted that his gym teacher called him "Can't stand ya, can't stand ya." That was good. But then yes, Frank with the Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was fantastic. I did see another interview with him. How when he first started, very first season, very first show, there was a different guy cast as George's dad. Okay, it wasn't. I want to say it was midway.
That's
through
right. I
the
remember
first
that.
season,
Yeah.
It was replaced with Stiller. And when Stiller
didn't the original guy die?
I don't know if he died, but I know Stiller came on, and when he said he was brought on, he was told, "No, you're this mild-mannered guy with this firecracker of a wife. You're the calm one. You're the calm one. You're the calm one." And then there was like one scene where he decided to go improv, and boom, he just like blew up, and they were like, "Never mind, we're doing this."
Yeah.
Because he was perfect.
There's so many classics. So many classics episodes.
I still love when I'm driving down the street and I gotta stop short and I put my hand in front of my wife.
No.
That's my move. And I look at her. That's my move.
And then she slaps you right across the face.
Oh, she just looks at me like, "You're an idiot. You're such an idiot. What are you doing?" Oh man,
very good patch on the castle.
Oh, yeah. I did watch it again the other day, and I just love. I love Dennis Denudo passing the notes to him.
Yeah,
water.
Oh my goodness! And then Farouk, you say you come, I say I'll take a bomb, and I'll blow you up. And he ran away.
You have friends. I say I have friends. My friend come put bomb under a car.
Exactly.
I don't have friends like this, but you'll never know. People say plane come over, drop value of house. That's okay. In Beirut, plane come over,
drop bomb.
Yeah.
I think wogs and cash.
Nothing's more surreal than the sound of a two-stroke.
Yeah,
two-stroke engine. Just line after line.
And I'll just say, Mr. Kerrigan, I'll have to just let you know how disappointed I am in our judicial system.
That's right.
Oh, he was perfect casting too.
Oh, yeah.
He's even prouder than Wayne, more proud of Wayne now than when he was in prison.
And I reckon I did finish that patio set.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I had the land perked and everything. What can you tell me about?
What can you tell me about lead? Do you know anything about? What do you know about
lead?
Nothing dangerous. What do you know about lead?
Dale dug a hole.
Filling with
Dale,
water.
tell him, Dale. I dug
a hole.
It was a head-on between what was it? A
But tell me, guys,
Volkswagen
do
and
you-
a Vauxhall?
When you sit down at dinner and your wife serves up the dinner on the table, you say, "What do you call
What's
this?"
it?
Do you? What do you? Oh, it's what you do with it.
But it's what you do with
We
kids.
go
Why
through
don't you
that
go
whole
out to eat
routine
every
at
night
least
when you
3
have
times a week.
this?
Scooped it out.
Who
of the
needs to
pot.
go to a restaurant when you got this served up night after night?
Looks like everybody's
Lasagna.
kicked a goal.
No,
Oh damn!
everybody's kicked a goal. That's right.
You could sell this.
The only thing that Dad liked more than Serenity was the sound of an outboard motor at full throttle. What's that? Oh, back there.
Back there.
Yeah.
He's asking $250 for some jousting sticks. He's dreaming.
Tell me he's dreaming.
That's the other thing I do.
Hey,
Yeah,
what are you
well,
going to
it's
do with jousting sticks?
Well, if you get them for the half price, it's a bargain.
Right.
When my wife shows me something that she wants to buy, I say, "How much do I want for that?" She tells me, I go, "Dreaming."
Dreaming.
Tell me he's dreaming.
Tell me they're dreaming.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put on a hold on those spiral staircases.
Mhm.
With the guy with the mezzanine's holding.
I do find myself driving with the entire family in the car, and I sit there and go, going to Bonnie Doon. I'm going to Bonnie Doon. And, and my
just been
wife says, "What are you
banned in the car
singing?"
now.
Nothing.
All I need to say, "Where?" And my wife goes, "Shut up."
Does that work? I'm gonna start trying that.
Mm.
Hey, Ivor, shut up.
Mhm. Now, Dale, we know what you did. Put the gates in the back of your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many movies like that. I mean, you can watch that movie over and over again.
And over
Several
and
times in a
over and
week.
over.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and I really just wish my neck would crack. I swear if it cracked, it would feel better. But then I'm terrified to go to like a chiropractor because I think like every 2 weeks I have to go back again. Sweet.
Okay, so my file's been uploaded to my Google Drive, and I've just sent you the link for it, Dor. So you should have it.
Awesome.
I'm looking for mine. I saved it somewhere, but I don't know where. Export to where? Nah, doesn't really matter, does it? Just throw it somewhere.
As long as you got it.
Well, I have to find it first, though.
Oh, I saw a buddy sent me a terrific shirt. I wish I owned. It's a pun on D&D, where it says, let me see if I can find this. Copy image address. Maybe I can show it here. That didn't work. Basically, it's like a character from playing D&D, and it's ADHD. Roll for concentration.
Nice.
Yeah, that's accurate. So where'd you send me the link, Ivor?
Oh, I just shared it from my Google Drive.
So I should get an email, maybe. Oh, got it.
Yeah, should have it on the email there.
Oh man,
That's not where it's supposed to be.
as much as I really don't like Google, I will say the Google Drive just works, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame.
Well, it works, but it's like they keep tinkering with the back end. So every 3 or 6 months, if you try to use a third-party tool, oh surprise, it broke. Almost like they do it on purpose. Copy link location. Let me come over here. Over here. Well, that's not what I expected. It's like Sean Connery-ish. looking for slutty shingles.
I know where there's one in a carpet.
Slutty shingles.
Well, that takes me to the GitHub, Ivor.
My
Oh, really?
brain, my brain, my brain.
I did it directly from Droidify.
Okay, well, there's a download button there.
597
Anyway,
save. Got it. Okay, 597 save. Got it.
I'll just press it. It's easy to talk about security, but
Sure you don't want to push it?
any of that. Push it real good. Push it.
Well, you know, the truth about security is nothing's secure.
No.
The question is how much do you attempt to keep private and how much do you put out there as false information? Like I tried to explain to my kid, no. When you fill out something and it asks you what's your pet's name, you don't put your butternut in. That's your pet's name. You don't put that in, dumbass. He's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, Dad. Dude, I can go on whatever media app you're on and I can find out your pet's name. Well, and he's like trying to be proud. Well, I'm not on Facebook. I don't care what you're on, dude. I can find it. When they ask you what's your pet name, you make up a word that you remember as being the word and not your actual pet name, dumbass. Not sure he
Did we
gets
agree
it.
on something there, Ivor?
What's that?
Did we agree on something in the chat there?
Yeah.
Come on now. So why did
Don't worry. I'm sure it won't last.
I was running on Wi-Fi this whole time. I forgot to plug the Ethernet cord when I put my computer back down here.
Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. So we're going to copy this.
You guys have any suggestions on a Wi-Fi router? I'm realizing I need to.
Don't go mesh.
I've got what's that?
Shit.
Don't go mesh.
My mesh is fantastic.
My mesh is
Well,
terrible.
I've got open mesh from probably 10 years ago. Well, maybe 8 years ago. And I think I need something faster would be good.
Yeah, I bought refurbished on Amazon Linksys VLOP mesh network, 3 nodes. Normally 3 nodes is like almost $400. Refurbished, I got it for like $150.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
And I get gig speed up and down. Of course, I don't get gig speed. On the top floor, if I plug hardwired into the mesh router on the top floor, I still get 600 plus megabits. If I do wirelessly up there, I'm only on Wi-Fi 6, so I get like 300.
Dude, my Wi-Fi is so slow.
But the latency is unbelievable. I will say, again, it's who do you trust kind of thing. Show Me is releasing a Wi-Fi 7 based router with 4 hardwire plugs in it. So it's a standalone router for literally only like $45. It's ridiculous. I will say, I think I got it right here. Big money, no whammies.
Did you just keel over?
Yeah, I did.
Take an aspirin, Door.
I'm only mostly dead.
I'm not quite dead yet.
Bring out your dead. So yeah, this is one router that I bought
Not plugged in.
maybe like 2 years ago. And you can see right there in the very middle, there's the Me logo.
Oh, yeah.
So it is
Oh,
a
I've seen
Show
those,
Me.
yeah.
It's a Show
They're
Me.
super cheap, aren't they?
This was unbelievable. This was the only, I mean, you can see, I mean, there's nothing to it kind of thing, but it does have 4 antennas. It is Wi-Fi 6. I only paid like $25 for it. Minimum number of ports on the back. I use it for what I call when I plug it up, it's my completely untrusted network. This is the things that I only let connect to it, IoT devices, nothing else. You know what I mean? And things, if they get, I don't want to say hacked, but if, the information gets out on the devices on this network, I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because was it Banggood used to advertise those all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was seriously tempted, but I thought no, it wasn't just didn't pull the trigger on it. And I bought a TP Link.
Well, and that's the thing. I have my family on the Linksys VLOP. Me, I only care about my speed when I'm down here, so everything's hardwired in, and I'm using a TP Link router from like 5 years ago.
All right. Yeah, my problem is I've got wireless. I've got line of sight wireless, and it's not cable. There's no fiber. It's just microwave. So
apparently Josh does too, and it just dropped.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it stays connected, right? But now it's my router's having problems because it's not gigabit Ethernet. It expects everything to be gigabit bloody fiber.
All right.
And I get maximum 25 megabits upload speed, 5 down. No, 5 up, sorry, 20 down. Yeah.
Daniel Craig only did one good film.
Casino Royale.
Oh, that's Daniel Craig. I'm thinking, who the hell is Daniel Craig? I know the name, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. If he was a decent Bond, you would know who he was.
No. He came in at the wrong time.
And didn't he die in the last one?
Yeah. They killed him off.
Good riddance.
Great. Nice one, Daniel. No one else had a problem with death in any of the other shows.
Yeah.
So he's the only Bond to die. Nice. Good one.
I bet you the next Bond's going to be black and female. Or possibly transvestite.
No. Oh, no. I'm going to say a mixed race, completely unidentifiable, like 3 different things that you don't know what they are. And from a distance, you won't be able to tell if it is 18 years old or 80 years old or male or female.
Yeah. An androgynous Bond.
Say, I don't want my martini. I want a mock-tini.
It'll be Jamie Bond.
Jamie Bond.
Is it the androgyny that you were talking about, Ivor? Like,
yeah.
is that
Jamie Bond.
No,
yeah.
Jamie Bond. Oh.
I was just going to say like Chris or Patty.
It's androgyny.
You only misgender once.
It's Pat. Who's that?
Oh.
It's Pat.
Okay, so I know I've not mentioned this in a while. Did any of you guys ever sit down and watch The Pentaveret?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was brilliant.
Oh, it was. I think the best damn thing Mike Myers has ever done, and he's done some pretty damn funny stuff.
Ooh,
that's a big.
I know.
Murderer.
I know it's a deep cut.
Ex-murderer. It's got to be his best one. Wayne's World. Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to say So I Married an Axe Murderer wasn't great because I do find myself say, "Whoa, man."
Whoa, man.
She was a thief. You best believe. She stole my heart and my cat.
Yeah. But I mean, Pentaveret, oh my God. The automatic Netflix censoring algorithm. That was hard to beat. That was funny as hell.
Yeah. The change of resolution between Canada and the US.
Oh my God. Right, exactly. And I loved when he was in that final city and he saw Shrek go by. Yeah, good stuff. Oh my God, so funny. Oh, but yeah.
I know. I'd watch Ex-Murderer again several times.
Oh,
but I'm not really fussed about watching Pentaveret again. I thought some of it had highlights.
I want to watch it again, but I can't bring myself to sit down and watch again. So I Married an Axe Murderer. I know it's an hour and a half. We're head down, no stuff. It's just good stuff. And I love the police chief. And I love the police chief. Was that too harsh? Was that too mean? Yeah.
Well, there's always Goldmember as well.
Himself asleep on his huge pillow.
Yeah, huge pillow.
It's like spotting it around in spots, but quite pointed in others.
Exactly. And then
I love
the
system.
The mom reading the real news. Yeah.
Piper down. I repeat, we've got a Piper down.
We've got a Piper down.
If you want my body and you think I say that, my wife hates that. Oh my God, she hates that so much.
Come on, baby, let me know.
Mm.
Hey, she's a bitcher.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
And I
had a
love
match
Stephen, and I love Stephen Wright as the pilot, like
as the
falling
pilot.
asleep in mid-flight.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen Wright is so funny.
Which one's he?
Yeah,
Which one's Stephen Wright?
he was the pilot in So I Married an Axe Murderer, who was flying the cop out to the honeymoon place, and he kept falling asleep, and when he was flying,
Right.
yeah, super dry. I'm trying to remember a
Another-
single Stephen Wright
Yeah.
joke, but the only jokes that are coming to mind are Mitch Hedberg.
The oh yeah, I know those two do kind of have the same vibe.
Yeah, the same vibe. Exactly. It's all about the vibe.
No, I just the other day I did the what would you say? I need to watch that again just for that line. What would you say to fresh squeezed orange juice, some buttermilk pancakes, fresh bacon?
Right.
So he's like, "Oh, that sounds
Eggs.
great." He goes down.
Hey, here's,
Oh,
here's
sorry,
some
I
Frosted
didn't have
Flakes.
those. Yeah, I didn't have those other
Cheerios.
things. Oh,
Yeah.
Fruit Loops, high in fiber, fruity taste.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've been there. Yeah.
Some of his Austin Powers ones were bloody good as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on now. The first one was what I call an enigma. Nobody saw it coming, and when it hit, everyone was like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Mm.
Like they couldn't even compute what was going on. Just like nutty.
It was a whole James Bond thing, isn't it? It was like a
That-
rip-off of James.
$1
take on
million. And I love the kid, his son. www.zipit.com. When a problem comes along, you must zip it. And my kids hate me so much for that. Yeah.
In my country, women come second, or sometimes not at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The fembots.
Looking, been doing some working out there, Josh. You're looking pretty toit like a
Toit.
toiga.
Toit like a tie. You can tell by his toit pants.
He's got a toit
body,
pants.
toit like a toiga.
Toit like a
Tell by
toiga.
his toit pants. All right, maybe I'm as much a nerd as you guys.
Yeah.
I know, but if you don't date anything older than a 25-year-old, you have one up on us.
So funny. That was so Bing turned 25.
And
I
the
totally
thing is,
butchered the joke, but it's pretty
people can
funny.
make fun of Brad Pitt all they want. God, I wish I was him.
That's right. What a jerk. I wish I was that guy.
Yeah. I hate him. Damn, he has it good.
He's got toit pants.
Yeah. Yeah, and he did Fight Club.
Fight Club, a river runs through it.
Uh-huh.
What was the other one? The not Field of Dreams. Although it was in a field, he was in my dreams. What was Legends of the Fall?
Okay, I was wondering where you were going, but
You weren't the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legends of the Fall 7,
7,
Yeah.
12 Monkeys.
12 Monkeys. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
he was
like
so
that-
good in 12 Monkeys. Oh my God.
I would almost say that Brad Pitt has been in more fantastic movies than just about any actor in the history of my life.
To me,
Well,
him
was Zed as well? Was it?
yeah, where
That
was
was a
he?
good film.
To me, him and Ed Norton are two of the actors, and I don't care what they're in. I'm going to watch it because I know what I'm going to see is going to be something with great acting in it, where the guys are going into the roles 100%, but I never know what to expect out of them. And that's why I loved Fight Club, because it was both of them. And it was like, wow, okay. Yeah. Good job. Tally ho.
I watched an old Bruce Willis movie the other day. It's called Red. And it was
I
terrible.
know. It was. But that old woman in that movie was great.
Helen Mirren.
I don't remember her name, but I remember
Yeah.
I could believe she could kick some ass and shoot like a pro.
Yeah, that's Helen Mirren. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a stellar cast. It had like all the stars. It had
John
Morgan
Malkovich.
Freeman,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. John
Yeah.
Malkovich, Helen Freer, Keith Urban,
Mhm.
a whole bunch of really, really top class actors.
Right. And
And the
Malkovich was
movie
great
was
because
just
he was like
shit.
paranoid, but then it turned out he was right all along,
Yeah.
and everyone hated him for that. Yeah.
Now, if I see John Malkovich in the film, I know it's going to be probably going to be really good.
It's going to be worth your
um,
time.
This one
Yeah.
was absolute shite.
Yeah, it was one of those weird Bruce Willis movies where they couldn't decide where to go during the whole movie, and at the very end they said, "Well, let's just leave it open for a sequel."
Yeah, never. The plot didn't make any sense. Ugh.
So Brad
No.
Pitt, A River Runs Through It, California with a K, True
Oh,
Romance,
Oh,
The
That was
Favor, Interview with the Vampire, Legends of the Fall, 7, 12 Monkeys, Sleepers, The Devil's Own, 7 Years in Tibet, Meet Joe Black, Being John Malkovich, Fight Club, Snatch, we didn't even mention that,
Oh,
The Mexican Spy Game,
Yeah.
Ocean's 11,
yeah.
something called Full Frontal, okay,
Hello.
Confessions of a Dangerous Man, Troy,
Mm-hmm.
Ocean's 12, Mr. and Miss Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Ocean's 13, Babel, The Assassination of Jesse James, Burn After Reading, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Inglorious Bastards,
Yeah.
Moneyball. I'm kind of skipping World War Z,
Yeah.
12 Years a Slave, Fury, By the Sea. I haven't seen a lot of these. The Big Short, Allied,
Yeah.
War Machine. I mean, this is nuts.
Yeah.
There's some stellar movies in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like certain actors in Hollywood I'm okay with him getting paid crap tons of money. He's one of them. Keanu's another guy. Ed Norton's another guy.
Oh, Keanu's just a terrible actor, though.
Yeah, but he's a good
like-
person
He's a
Oh, yeah.
fantastic person.
and a fantastic actor. I don't care.
I think
Bill
he
and
peaked
Ted's
at Bill and
Excellent
Ted.
Adventure.
Bill and Ted was his peak. That's about it. Went downhill
No.
after that.
The train one. No, the bus one.
Speed.
Oh yeah, Speed.
Yeah, that's right. I rest my
Whoa.
case.
I know, but he's the kind of guy, just because I know for a fact he's an unbelievably nice guy, I'll patron his movies and stuff. Just because I know he's
Josh
not.
is disappearing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just breaking my computer as
He's on the DL.
The Ethernet cord I plugged into it is underneath my backpack, so it's a crack as the thing goes up. Oh, just a genius. They let anybody homeschool.
Dude, I almost envy you. I know it's stressful. I know it's a lot of work. I know it's 10 times the work of anything else. But to be able to do that, it really does make, I believe, a very significant impression to your kid, because your kid now is going to see my dad has, or my family has, a devotion to try to do this themselves.
Well, that, and I mean, I don't. You kind of just close your eyes and hand the kid off to somebody that you don't know, right? Unless you do know, but that's usually not the case. And I kind of prefer to.
Well,
I want to brainwash him with what I want to be brainwashed with, not what the
Ding!
state wants.
Dude, you're honest. Thank you for being honest. Because that is the utter truth. You know, I went to public schools and all that, and I know 90% of the people I know who came out of that system are dumb as a box of cat turds.
I want the public school in the States too, man. I know this.
Yeah, it's not any better here either. Tell you that much. It's all just political indoctrination at the moment. And it's all gender. Kids are obsessed with gender.
You want to make
with,
good
cultural
resources
stuff as well.
that won't cause too many problems.
Okay, well, the
There's a new Raspberry Pi.
yeah, I
sorry.
saw that too, but I was just going to say that the Keanu Reeves Apex was Matrix.
Oh, obviously. And the thing is, do you know who turned down that movie? Like one of the, okay, lots of people turned down that movie. But do you know one of the people that turned down that movie? Will Smith. Do you know what he turned down that movie for?
Wild Wild West.
Wild, wild effing West.
Terrible
Tell me
film.
that guy's not dumb as a box of cat turds. Come on.
Well,
Come
he
on.
bitch slapped Chris Rock apparently because that was real.
I know, but if you can't slap a crackhead to where he falls on the ground, that's not really a bitch slap. That's a I'm gonna half-ass this slap because come on, he's a crackhead. He's been a crackhead. Half of his life, the guy literally smoked crack and slept in gutters, and you can't knock him off his feet.
Wait, he slapped Hunter Biden as well?
Chris Rock. Hunter Biden's been a crackhead his entire life. That's the difference. After New Jack City, Chris Rock became a better human being. But yeah, I mean, you slap a crackhead and you can't knock him off his feet. What's the point? Oh, God, you're so weak.
Well, I mean, you slap
Yeah, I
somebody
did.
with an open hand too.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Why didn't you use a fist? You know, if you're gonna be violent towards someone,
because
use
he
a
was
fist.
born in South Philly, born and raised.
I got in one little fight and I slapped Chris Rock.
Look, between me and you, South Philly is like the softest thing on the East Coast that never took Viagra. Kind of thing. There's no hardcore stuff going on there. Yeah. Will Smith. Puh. Puh. Might as
Men in
well have
Black was
tone
good. He
look.
was good, Men in Black.
You guys ever watch Corner Gas?
Oh,
Oh, that might be an introduction that I'm making now. It's a Canadian sitcom.
Corner
And
what?
First, what?
Corner
Corner
what?
Gas. Corner
Corner
Gas. It's
Gas.
a gas station.
Right.
I would recommend that. Or have you watched any Letterkenny?
No, we did have it here, but I never watched it.
I quite like that one too. I haven't.
Tell you what,
seen
Plex has got recently is Kids in the Hall.
Dum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bam. One of the greatest theme songs of a series. Because look, you guys don't know this. I have an entire section of my music catalog is just great theme songs. The Kids in the Hall theme songs is in the upper like 3 percentile of theme songs for shows. It's just great. Not to mention, it's literally like Monty Python in more of a modern sense for someone
It's
older.
Canadian Monty Python.
Yeah. Oh my God, so funny. Literally on one of my Discord servers, my comment is, "I squish your face,"
It's squishing your face.
because that shit. Yeah, that show was fantastic.
It's squishing your head.
Mhm.
Squish.
I crush your head and I squish
crush
your
it, yeah.
face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then there was, of course, a whole lot of milk. Whole lot of milk. Yeah, great stuff.
Living Color was good too. Jim Carrey.
It was.
Yeah.
Do what you want to do.
Damon Wayans.
I hate Jim Carrey. Given the choice, if I would see him face to face, he would be in an emergency room. That's how much I do not like him as a human being. But in Living
good in
Color,
that.
it was so funny. And he was
I
very
think Damon Wayans was best in that one though. Damon and his brother Keenan Ivory. Yeah.
Keenan Wayans. Yeah, from
Let me tell you something.
Keenan Wayans from, oh my God, what was his movie? I'm trying to remember now. Has the boy go to the bathroom with all that gold on? I'm going to get you, sucker.
Oh my God.
Oh, God, it was so funny. Did you ever see, oh my God, Robert Townsend blaxploitation film where he like made fun of the blaxploitation films?
Undercover Brother.
No, way before that.
Don't get caught drinking juice in the hood while doing something on a car.
No, no, it was
Duck Factory. BW in the chat saying Duck Factory.
That's
Never heard of
the
that.
randomest thing I've heard you say, Red. Is that a movie?
Duck Soup.
Hollywood Shuffle. Hollywood Shuffle was the Robert Townsend movie where he basically took on, in air quote, blaxploitation, where there was an entire industry where all they did was just make fun of black people, where they're like overly jivey kind of thing. He was great, but then he was also the same guy that did Meteor Man. I don't know if you remember Meteor Man. It was the inner city guy who accidentally got hit by a meteor to become a superhero, but he did it in the normal like ghetto fashion and not Hollywood fashion. That guy I think was really funny. He was the guy who gave Keenan Ivory Wayans and all those guys the inspiration for In Living Color.
Right.
At least that's what they said. That's what I'll say. But yeah, the first 2 seasons of In Living Color, man, it made Saturday Night Live look like the 700 Club kind of stuff, to where it was just, you know, Saturday Night Live was not funny compared to it.
Wow. Thanks, Chris. Did you log in as Chris Mendez, Ivor, and then write nice things about the show?
Well, and I'll say the one thing I loved about In Living Color was they introduced a whole bunch of people to a whole bunch of music artists that I don't think those people would have seen, like on a regular basis, kind of thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was the show that gave J-Lo her start in mainstream choreography, I believe, before she went solo.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people got their start on that show. I think wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one movie that's underrated these days is Airplane.
Oh yeah,
timeless classic. I mean, that's up there with The Castle as well, I have to say, in my top 5.
I just love
Castle,
it when he's
Airplane.
walking through the airport,
and
they won't stop offering him flyers.
The
and
Buddhists.
he's just beating the hell out of him.
Yeah. And it's the same guy who 20 minutes earlier was looking at himself through the mirror and then walked through the mirror while his dog was mauling the guy who came to pick him up.
But everything in that film was just so good. I mean, like even the car park scene, you know, where he's got a taxi driver pulls up, and there's the white zone and the red zone. The red zone is loading and unloading early.
Don't tell me
you're a white zone. Yeah. You just upset me because I won't have an abortion.
Right.
When I was 8 years old when I first saw this movie, and I thought, what the hell am I watching here? I had no idea. I knew it was funny, but I had no idea why.
And I remember the first time I saw the guy say, I have a drinking problem.
Ever since Diane left me, I've had a drinking problem.
Yeah. Oh,
have you guys
now
ever watched
one of the people in that movie was in more movies than anybody else in Hollywood history. Who was it?
The Golden Girl.
Nope.
It wasn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I'll say this: he was also in the Pentaveret.
Mike Myers.
He was
the head controller.
No,
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
No, he was the Asian guy who committed suicide, who was supposed to be a Japanese guy in the film who committed suicide. Yeah. That guy has been in more movies than anybody else, like in the history of Hollywood. He's been in everything, is what I'm gonna say. He was also in the the Russian mafia guy, comedian. I Am the Machine. He was also in that movie too.
Oh yeah, The Machine. Yeah.
He's literally been in almost every single thing that's ever existed. That guy, literally, including voice acting, because he is the stereotypical Japanese guy in everything he's ever been in, and he's okay. He was also in Everything Everywhere All at Once. He was the dad or the granddad. And let me tell you something, if you haven't seen that movie, that's another fantastic movie to watch.
That was pretty good. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah. But yeah, he was the granddad in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Kentucky Fried Movie?
Not in like 30 years.
Yeah.
That's an old one. Jeez.
Yeah.
Goes back a while.
Yeah, it's a very old one.
Have you seen then, I'm going to say, it's Action Park. It's a documentary on Netflix about Action Park.
Oh yeah, the swimming, sort of the water park that was really dangerous. Yeah, I've seen that.
Incredibly dangerous. That was a great documentary.
Didn't somebody get killed?
Over the lifespan, I would say 4 or 5.
Paralyzed?
Right? It was called Class Action Park.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Literally, I went
The
to
guys who were running with a bunch of cokeheads who just had no idea what they were doing.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Who didn't adhere
Sounds
to
like Washington,
any
D.C.
rules or anything. Yeah. But yeah. I want to say over the lifespan, 6 or 8 people died.
Yeah.
Wow.
And parents would just send their kids off to these things, and
Back in the 80s,
they come back.
Here's
with
$20.
broken
Get away
legs
from
and-
me, kid.
Yeah.
You're bothering me.
No, I watched one on. Actually, I think I watched a couple. There's a kind of a series on Netflix. I don't remember what it's called, but one of them was on Balco and the baseball steroids. That whole thing. It was quite interesting. And it had the guy, the Balco guy on it. So it's a kind of behind the scenes, and it was fairly interesting. Baseball is like cricket, Ivor, but you can't hit the ball backwards.
Right. Yeah. The other series
It's
I
not
liked on
familiar with
Netflix was called American Pain. And it was about clinics in Florida opened by convicted felons who were doing everything by the book. And they were literally trucking in like school bus full of people from like Kentucky to just continuously sell
pills.
opiates. Yeah. Like ridiculous.
Opioids. Yeah.
And the worst thing was they did everything above board and by the book.
Yep.
When they were, convicted felons who should have been in jail. America. Yay.
Yeah, I watched Painkiller as well, which was
That was another one. Yep. Back.
Jim Carrey and Teresa Genzel from Johnny Carson Tonight Show. 13 episode
Yeah, I
series
looked
about a
that up.
young animator hired to work at an animation studio. I was at Boss's funeral day he starts working. I would never heard of it. I tell you what, Jim Carrey sort of leaves me a bit flat.
Yeah, there's a few though that I'm quite fond of. Like I liked Liar Liar as well.
Yeah, that was, I suppose, humorous, mildly amusing.
And then the first
Ace Ventura, wasn't it?
Ace Ventura,
Yeah. The Mask.
yeah.
I never really got into them. 1984 is why you haven't heard of it. I was watching movies in 84. I was 14 years old in 1984. There's been all that pot I smoked back in 1983.
Well, apparently the Ace Ventura was 1984 too. I think it just said. No, that can't be right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it came out when I was a kid in high school. Yeah.
No, okay, it's 1994. Okay.
1994.
I was thinking 84. I think that.
Okay.
The way it should be read. Get some good episodes in there, and then shut her down. I don't need to go 14 seasons where the last 10 are just garbage, or the last 12 are garbage.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. I mean,
Yeah. That was
credit where credit's due. The Truman Show was great.
Yes, it was.
The Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind was pretty damn good.
Fantastic.
Too.
Yeah.
The Number 23. Scary. Then I don't know anything. I have never seen a movie past like 2003.
I think it was funniest as the burn victim fire chief in Living Color.
Was it Captain something or Sergeant Fire Marshal Bill?
Fire Marshal Will, yeah.
Marshal Bill.
He was all burned.
Let me tell you something.
Does your dad smoke a pipe?
You've got a gallon of gas and
Yeah.
somehow it gets all over you. And then you take a match. You shouldn't strike it, but you do. I made that whole part up because I don't remember what happened, but I think it was something similar.
It was something like that. Yes.
I took creative liberties. Can you check that link I put in, Door, and see if you can?
Where'd you put the link up right there?
I put it in the Ninja.
Copy. I'm copying links.
Yeah, gotta copy the link. See?
Paste. Looks like
Testing.
hour 44.
Oh, Man on the Moon, I enjoyed as well.
Oh, man. That was really hard. I'm not going to lie. That was hard to watch the very first time. Because
he's a good actor when it comes down to it.
Because I remember all the Kaufman stuff. And I know how Carrie takes roles too far. And if there's a role you're going to take too far, it's Kaufman. And he did. And he literally encapsulated all of his characters, including what was his name? Oh man, the lounge singer guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really sleazy and slutty and womanizing guy. And he did it like it was supposed to be done, like a piece of crap.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh. Yeah. And the thing about Kaufman was he was so mentally disturbed for like the last 3 years of his life. He wore his wrestling uniform and belt underneath his clothes.
How long?
I'm almost done.
Wow.
How long?
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good.
Great. Did you have a good week? You were on vacation for like a month, right?
Maybe a bit more than a month.
Really? So what was the best part? The food?
Going across the state.
Oh, that's awesome. So you got to see a whole bunch of different things, and your dad said you went to a bunch of water parks.
We didn't go to any water parks. But, like, we went to pools with water slides.
Right, exactly. Water
That's the one.
slides. Yeah. I love water slides. They're so much fun.
We had one that went outside.
Awesome.
A big white one.
Very cool. Very cool. So I'm glad you had fun.
Good
Were you-
night.
Well, were you happy to come home and come back to your bed and your pillow?
Yes.
Yeah, I always am. I love going on vacation, but when I come home to my bed and my pillow, it feels so good.
Hi, Red. Hi, Red in the chat.
Red's awesome.
Okay.
All right, dude.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. Have a good sleep.
Have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night, both of you.
Thank you.
You too. Oh my God.
Love you. I'll get in a minute.
Very cool. Yeah. If you put him in front of you before you ask somebody a hard or difficult question, they're going to tell you yes. That's just,
Absolutely.
for your own well-being in the future.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
me.
I think he could probably hold his own on a podcast as well.
You probably could too. Yeah.
Well, if you listen to most podcasts, he hasn't made.
We didn't go to any water parks, but we did go to pools with water slides.
My mistake. All right, I'm going to clip this live stream.
Yeah, I've got to get going as well.
Yeah.
Great to see you guys again.
I'm about to pee my pants.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I said almost, or haven't done it yet.
Well,
Hold the congratulations.
don't
till the end.
half-ass it. Mom
No,
didn't
no,
raise no
going-
quitters. All right, guys. Thank you for coming out to the live stream.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
We should have another
I
podcast
feel
where we
so
just talk
loved.
about movies.
I'd like
Yeah.
to thank the Academy.
I got to watch Tropic Thunder again.
Oh my goodness.
Such a good film.
I'm just gonna watch Young Frankenstein.
Yes. Is it Marty Feldman in that?
Yes, of course. Walk this
Yeah,
way.
thought it was. Yeah. Back then, that was a new joke.
Mm-hmm. Right. His name was Abby. Abby what? Abby Normal?
I guess it's been a long time since I've seen that.
Mm-hmm. Just as good as you remember it.
So, Dor, do you think you're going to get the last podcast out on edited?
I have
Anytime?
off tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday. My belief is I can get both of them pushed out sometime during those days.
Splendid. Okay.
Notice I didn't commit to anything. I just believe it, kind of like people believe in ghost or God or Kremlin.
It's what's that
Flying
called?
spaghetti monster.
Yeah.
What's it called when you do that? Is that a pejorative? When you say,
That's a pejorative measure.
I wish I could say that I like this, or is that a pejorative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So soon. Could be
Ish.
3 years from now. Could be tomorrow.
Depends on your scale of soon.
Exactly. All right, guys.